And we're live. I guess it didn't go off the way I wanted it to, but we are live now. Hey, Chris, what's going
Hey,
on?
bud. We just hanging out, man. Just hanging out.
Yeah, you sound like you're still a little bit under the weather when I talked to you a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Yeah,
I'm not 100%.
yeah. I stopped here at this little Pilot 19. I didn't realize this, but it's got me going up 75. I know we talked about going up the
Yeah.
other way, but
Yeah.
it has me going up 75. And I stopped at this first Pilot. There was literally one spot left. And just like, you know, what we were talking about earlier, we have United Nations here. Um,
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
everything is here. There's certain guys that are trying to park a tractor trailer in the bobtail section, and they're literally running over, the concrete barriers on the highways when they're doing construction. Well, they got concrete barriers in this bobtail section. They're literally backing into them, knocking
Yeah.
pounds. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
They might even be close to 5,000 pounds. But anyway, I've seen it all. I know we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Um, I ordered a hamburger. I got to go in and get it here. They said it was going to be about 5 minutes, so I haven't eaten anything today. So I'm gonna we're gonna get this started. I'm gonna leave for a couple minutes and let you do your thing. We
Okay.
don't have any comments yet. We only have 4 people up. I know this was kind of a last minute thing about going live tonight. I know a lot of people will catch this on the replay, which is fine. I'm getting a lot of views on replays, anyways. A lot of people just can't make it on lives. Never did a Thursday live before. Don't know how to go, and we're just now we got 6 people in. Don't really know how it's going to go, but I know we have a lot of things to discuss. I'm going to let you get started. Just bear with me. I'll be back. Um,
Yeah. I
and
want
then
to
we'll,
go
huh?
back and clear a couple things up from last week.
Okay. You
We
go
had a
ahead.
couple
I'll be right back.
comments. Yeah, we had a couple comments, guys, and one of the comments was we were talking about the difference in being at a mega carrier getting 65% and being at a spot market carrier like F2F where you get 80/20. And I threw a lot of numbers out, and some people argued with my numbers. Um, my numbers were accurate, but I need to clarify a couple things. First of all, we don't get 65% at JB Hunt. We actually get somewhere, depending on the load, somewhere between 70 and 74% of the all-in rate. Because we get 65% of line haul and then we get 100% of fuel surcharge. And when you add all that up and divide it out, we wind up with about 70 to 74% of the pie. And I was making the point that, and I was referring to F2F. I mentioned several times last week advanced trucking out of Indianapolis, and I mentioned Scott with SRO Logistics. Those are 80/20 companies also. I don't have any friends that are working either place there now, so I don't know their exact numbers. I was referring to F2F when I said it's not an 80/20 company. It's probably closer to 65/35. And I explained why that was. Trailer rental, trailer maintenance, higher insurance cost. You have to factor all that in. And a guy made the comment, I can't remember. I want to say he was at SRO, but he was either at SRO or Advanced Trucking, one of the two that I used as an example. And he said we don't pay 225 a week for a trailer. We pay 150, and I think it was Scott. He said Scott pays the maintenance. And while that is a better deal than what F2F offers, um, you still have to take that 150 you're paying for that trailer. That's a cost that you don't have here. And so, in order to compare apples to apples, you've got to figure that in. So, on a $5,000 week to you, that $150 trailer is 3%. So you're not at 80% anymore. You're at 77 if you're comparing what they have to what we have. Now, In this particular case, this guy was referring to, um, Scott pays the maintenance supposedly, which is nice. Now, I can tell you without even looking, hands down, no arguing, that if they have a fuel discount, it won't touch ours. Now, you can carry your own card, such as ES Advantage, or we have those. We have ES Advantage, all of us do, but we don't use it. And the reason we don't use it is it's half of JB Hunt's discount. So now you got to figure that into the equation because you're going to pay from, depending on where you're at, $100 to $300 more a week in fuel. So let's just use the number 150 again. We've already determined that that's 3%. So you got to take that 3% off. Now you're down to 74%, which is about where we're at. So the percentage is about the same, as I said, no matter where you go. People just make numbers say whatever they want them to say. The only thing you got to really consider right now is what's the rates on contract freight and what's the rates on spot market freight. And somebody made the comment to me today, they're making $265 a mile on average over there at F2F. That's just not accurate. That's just simply not accurate. I would stake everything I own on that. I have the DAP board on my phone, and I have Truck Smarter on my phone. And I want to be clear about something. I'm not down on F2F. I think they're a great company. The number one thing they've got going for them, as we talked about in the last video, is they're not a freight broker. They don't make their money by beating the driver out of his money. That's not what they do. And if you don't understand that, you need to go back and watch last week's video because I explained all that, and I'm not going to explain it again. So F2F's a great company. The rates in the spot market are just so bad. I had a recruiter that's been recruiting me hard for a long time. I said, well, just go ahead and send me these loads that you got that's $265 a mile. I didn't tell them that I had the DAP board. And so they screenshot. I said, just pick an area and do a search. And I gave them the parameters. I said, I don't care where you do it. They did it out of Atlanta. And so they sent me this. They sent me this screenshots of these loads off the DAP board. And the first thing, and they had them filtered where they came up rate per mile, the highest to the lowest. So they had a bunch of loads on there, $6, $8 a mile. Okay, so I looked down through them. There was loads on there paying $6 a mile, going 80 miles. That's $480. That's really good money for 80 miles. The only problem was you couldn't take it and unload it right then and get something else for the day. You had to sit on that till the next day. So I can't pull that load. We have to have $1,000 a day. We've said that multiple times. I keep on saying it. If it don't pay $1,000 a day to me, which means before F2F's cut, I got to be looking at $1,200 loads plus. Well, when I scroll on down to the lady's screenshots to the $1,200 loads, they're $213 a mile, $218 a mile. Now you got to take out 20% for F2F. You got to figure so many cents a mile for the trailer, so many cents a mile for the trailer maintenance. You got to figure so many cents a mile for the higher insurance. Long story short, we go from making $2 a loaded mile here clear to going over there and making $1.60 a mile clear. It's not the same money, guys. Will there come a time when those rates will bounce back and those guys will be making more than we are? Absolutely. Absolutely, that'll happen. It just ain't right now. So I stand by the numbers I give you. And I was referring to F2F. I wasn't putting anybody down, including F2F or Advanced Trucking or SRO. I like all those people. I think they've all got a good thing going. I might work there someday at any of them. But the numbers are what the numbers are. If and one of the things I wanted to do tonight, I had a lot of people I ran into this week said, "Man, you just busted the crap out of JB Hunt last week." Well, I didn't mean it that way. I just tried to give the numbers and the facts. And one of the things I want to do tonight is talk about the good things and why we're at JB Hunt. Um, I've said before, and I'll say it again until they fire me. JB Hunt's not a great company. Neither's Snyder, neither's Crete, neither's Swift. They're just not a. But here's what I also want to reiterate again this week. They're not your friend, guys. We're not trying to be friends. This is a business relationship. So the good things about JB Hunt is we have great people here that I work with. So you're in a bad situation, but you've got good people to work with. You're working for a freight broker where the least amount they pay you, the more they make. That's not a good place to be. It's not a good feeling. I don't like it, but I do like the people I work with. They're good to me. They help me to make all I can make. We're 90% drop and hook. You know, that's another thing. We don't talk about these spot market carriers where you're pulling your own trailer, whether you lease it, own it, or rent it. Um, you're going to live load and unload on both ends. Okay, so if let's say you do 5 loads a week, that's 10 shippers and 10 receivers. How many times are you going to get through 10 shippers and receivers in a freaking week and somebody not screw you over and hold you 4, 5, 6 hours? Guys, in this market, it ain't like it used to be. You can't you can't put 6 extra hours between every load to make sure that you get unloaded and get to your next pickup. You will not make money like that. You've got to book it tight. So all it takes is one person to hold you in the dock a little bit too long. Now you're going to lose your next load. You're going to lose your whole week, and you're going to start over. It's not. It's just a bad place to be. So here again, to reiterate, not bashing on F2F, not bashing on advanced trucking or SRO. Those are good places to work. This economy and this freight market is horrible, and I cannot state that enough. So, will we one day be over there? Maybe. Very good chance we might be. Right now is not the time. We're here. We're making money. Um, I'm booking freight now for 9 trucks. It's getting ready to go to 12. The guys that run hard and do things the right way, they're averaging after all expenses. You know, they're paying taxes, clearing. I'm going to say 2,500 a week on average. Does that mean that they won't have a $3,000 week or a 3,500 take home or even a 2,000 take home? Maybe on a week they go home. Yeah, that they might. But I'm just talking average. You know, 10,000 a month take home, and you got to pay taxes out of that. So we're doing well. We're doing well. Things happen. James, James don't like to talk numbers, and I always talk for him. James had a bad week last week. First load out of the week got canceled. We had to scramble. But I mean, this week so far, today just finished Thursday, and James, you correct me if I'm wrong. You and I talk all the time, multiple times a day. I don't think we lost one load off that customer this week that I can remember.
The only one that was lost is that one Micad that was pushed forward one day. Remember?
Okay,
That
so
was
remind me what
Jonesboro.
happened. What happened?
Well,
So he had a Jonesboro and it got pushed a day. So what did I do with him? How did I fix that? Do you remember?
you end up giving him another load altogether, but it didn't really
Well, I know.
interfere with anything because he ended up
I know.
making $150 more
And
off the other load.
I don't have any. I don't have his permission to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He can kick my hind end when he sees me. I just ran his numbers a while ago before we come on the air. You there? You hear me?
Who, me? Yeah, I can hear you
Something
fine.
something beeped in my ear. I don't know what that was. I just ran his numbers before we went on the air, just because I do that for everybody. And he's going to be home sometime tomorrow afternoon. Um, and he did around 5,500 to the truck, his part for the week. So his check's going to be about 2,400 for the week. Um, so there you go. I don't even remember him losing that load, but I know I got so much going. If it comes down to my word or yours, you're gonna be right. So if you say he
Right.
lost a load and I fixed it, I guess I did. But I just run his numbers and it was he did 5,500 after JB's cut. So let's put that in English too, James. So considering that we're getting 70%, The truck did somewhere around 8,000, a little less than 8,000. His truck did about 78 or 7,900. And the reason I throw that number out there and I put JB's money back in it, because these guys that are running spot market, that's what the numbers they quote, because that's what they're working off of. Their load board has the total price of the load in it, and then they got to take out F2S part or advances part or whatever. So he did almost 8,000 to the truck this week, and he's going home. And so, guys, I can't stress this enough. Don't get all caught up in the numbers. The only number that matters is what's the difference in what you got paid, and then you got to take out what you spent, and then that difference that you got left, that's the only number that matters. I mean, we can throw numbers around until we all pass out, but what at the end of the day, what's the profit? What's the profit? What are we going to owe the government taxes on? And so we're doing good here, guys. And if you want to come over, I need to say this. And James and I we try not to offend people. We try to be sugarcoat everything, but I got to be blunt. I mean, I don't know how much more blunt I can be. And I was supposed to tell Austin this wasn't for him, and I forgot. So I'm sorry, Austin. I'm sure you're listening. This doesn't have anything to do with Austin. We've stressed to y'all that you need to use our people. And everybody thinks, oh, you just want a referral bonus. You just want a referral bonus. I've been here 16 months. I'm booking freight for 9 trucks. I've got 2 referral bonuses, and you're looking at one of them on the other half of this screen, and Ron was the other one, okay? So these guys that I'm helping, I didn't get paid a dime on, not one dime. So just take that and shove it up your, you know what? You guys think that that's all I care about? It's $5. Listen, what I do for my drivers is worth a hell of a lot more than $500. I had a driver that I just started helping that I didn't even know he was here. And we ain't going to name him because he might be in here, but he ain't done good. He's been here 5 weeks. His numbers, he worked 7 days a week, didn't go home. His numbers suck. His CC has yet to this day to call him and introduce himself, James, and say, I'm so-and-so, I'm your coordinator, you need anything, you come to me. To this day, he's not done. Well, he won't be doing it now because I pulled this driver off his board today and put him on mine with 3 more that I pulled today. So I pulled 4 drivers today. But let me tell you something, guys. When you do this the right way and you use Jeff at SFI and you use Brenda at JB Hunt, I can head all this off. I can channel you through the right sources and get you on my board from the word go, because I had to jump through hoops. I had to call in favors. I had to twist arms. I had to suck up to 2 managers, my manager and my team, and these people had different teams and different managers. So I had to get 2 managers to sign off on every one of these drivers to get them over here to my team where I can monitor them, book loads on them easier. And keep in mind, I didn't get a dime for any of this.
Well,
So all I'm asking is just do what we ask you to do, so I don't have to jump through hoops.
That's exactly what I want to say. It's. Don't get me wrong. It is always about the money. Anybody tells you it's not about the money would be a liar. But we want to be able to help you guys succeed. And if we can't have control of you guys coming over with our people, then we can't help you. And that's why it's hard for us to get you switched to what we're doing and what boards we're on with our dispatchers. We got to have total control with, the minute you get your truck through SFI with Jeff, and the same thing with Brenda. And that way we know that, our people, and it's more about our recruiters that we use getting their credit that they need, because we are, starting to bring some people over. What are we at? You said 12 people? We've done this.
Yeah, we're about to be. We got 3 in the pipe. Yeah.
Last month and a half, 2 months. I mean,
let me throw this out there too for you guys that, I wished you wouldn't question what I'm telling you, because I'm telling you the truth. All right, but even if you were right, even if these trolls were right, and I have been paid for 12, After 12, JB Hunt won't pay me for any of the rest of them anyway. So we're already at 12 if I got paid, and I didn't get paid. So what I'm saying, I'm not making any money off of JB Hunt after we cross the 12 threshold. And I didn't get the 12. I got Ron and I got James. That's it, period. And please understand, because I know some of my drivers are in here, I'm not complaining about that. But when you come over here, let me head all this off. I can keep you out of a world of problems. And if you come in over here, you're going into what's called onboarding. Okay? And what that is basically in English is you're going to be dispatched by committee. You're going to have a CC listed, but that person is actually the boss of those committee CCs. So you're not even going to talk to that person that's listed on your list. Every time you call in, you're going to get somebody different. They're not going to know you. You're not going to know them. I can head every bit of that off if you'll just do what I ask you to do. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to keep saying this, and I know I sound hateful, and I don't want to, James, but it's making me have to do a lot more work than what I need to be doing. Just do what we ask you to do. Now, look, if you're one of these stubborn people and you want to do it your way, you come over here, okay, and you do it your way. But don't ask me for help. And the people that don't ask me for help, their averages per week is not very good. And my drivers is 1 to 2K higher than them a week. So just to clarify that, let me explain something to you. The first $3,000 you make every week goes to the truck, to all the cost of the truck, to JB Hunt's fixed costs. Before you get a dime, you owe $3,000. So when you make $1,000 or $2,000 less than one of my drivers, guess where that money comes from? It comes out of your pocket. It ain't coming out of Snyder's. It ain't coming out of JB Hunt's. It's coming out of yours. So I'm trying to help you out of the goodness of my heart. If I get a measly $500 referral down the line somewhere and JB Hunt pays me for it, great. Okay? But I can promise you I do a lot more work than $500 freaking dollars. Now, if I'm wrong, James, you tell them I'm wrong.
Nope, you're not wrong at all.
You see what I do. I mean, these guys are well taken care of. And, you know, I want them to succeed. Now, let me say this. I'm going to say this too. You come here and you work hard, I'll work 24 hours a day for you to make sure you're successful. You come over here and you half-cock do things and you don't run, I'm not going to help you. I don't care if I got a referral or not. I'll give you the damn $500 back. Okay? I'm not going to help you if you ain't going to run. Why should I care about your truck if you don't care? Now, so far, we've been lucky. We got white guys, we got black guys, we got Latinos, and now we got a Haitian. Okay? we got what you call it earlier, the United Nations.
I see you laughing, country.
We got them all. Listen to me. Every one of them runs their butts off. I ain't had one yet, but I know that one's coming. Wants to come over here and drive 5 or 6 hours a day and then whine to me they ain't making no money. Listen, I'll kick your hind into the curb. I won't do nothing for you. Ask James. Ask James. It's coming, James. You're laughing, but there'll be one show up.
Oh, buddy, I know.
We've been lucky because my guys run. My guys run. They run. They're where they're supposed to be. We got 9 trucks now. You know how many times they've been late?
That's
right. Zero.
I think I was the first late one today, but it wasn't because of any of my doings. It was just traffic and weather.
Well, and let's explain. But let's explain that. Okay, yep. So JB Hunt customer service, and this is another thing I don't like about them. When they book a load, they call and ask the receiver, "What's your receiving hours?" We're open receiving. Do we need an appointment? No, we're open receiving, 7 to 3:30. Okay, and then they'll put a time on us. Might be 8 to 1. What the crap, JB? So we think if we don't get there by 1, we're late. But then we get there and oh no, we load trucks till 4:30. I
Yeah,
mean, what
that's
am I
true.
supposed to do with that, dude? I mean, I can't do nothing with that. Just tell if you just tell drivers the truth. Most of them, not all. I mean, the majority of them, you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to lie to them, try to hurry them up. Look, the bottom line, James, we're already in a hurry because what's the deal? The more freight we haul, the more money we make. We're not out here fooling around anyway. Aggravates me. But anyway, you weren't late. It just looked like on the computer you was late.
Yeah. So let me go through some of these comments, and we got a special guest tonight. I'm going to bring him in here, but let me go through some of these comments real quick.
Yeah, and let's plug the show for next week before we bring him in. And then I got an announcement to make.
Okay. So Austin Tanner, what's up, guys? So Austin happens to be one of our guys, and he says that he doesn't care if you put it out there that it was him that was the lowest paying one this week because of he's never met his CC yet. Life on 18 Wheels says, "What's up, old folks?" And what I have to say to you that is like 18 Wheels is, guess what? I got a haircut on Tuesday, my birthday, Tuesday, which was what, day before yesterday, and I got a senior discount. I saved $3 on a haircut. So screw you, Life on 18 Wheels. I am the old guy. I'm also the diva too. Remember that. My wife, obviously, is always on here. Hello, glad to see you're better, Poppy. OTR Vic, good evening, fellas. And he also asked, what's the fuel discount for JB Hunt? And in so many words, OTR, our fuel discount varies at different fuel locations. It can be anywhere from 30, 40 cents all the way up to, I've seen it over $1.20. It just really depends on what location, and it's the frequency of the places that you go to.
And
So if it's
let's cover this, James. So let me explain that a little better. So if we're in an area where it's already really low and competitive, like Texas, you're seeing pump price in Texas. I noticed 310. Okay, we're not going to get it. We're going to get it for 275. Okay, but if you're in an area where it's really high and marked up a lot, let's say it's 410 on the pump, we might get it for $3, so $1.10 off. So the short answer is the more they're price gouging, the more we get. So when you get in a really competitive tight market, we're not going to get very much, but it's still going to be. I mean, the difference in 310 and 275, which is what I did this week in Texas. I mean, that's still a good discount.
Gotcha. So Brian Jess says, "What's up, guys? Just got a truck from a good long double hot shower. That's going to be me in the morning." Jason Jeter is one of them that just acted me as I was walking into the shop a little bit ago. He's got a lot of questions. He's going to call me tomorrow, but he wants to know an SFI payment's coming out as well. So yes, that's we're talking to $2,500. That's after all your payments and stuff, and I think that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's what you're
Let's
going to
see
pay
here.
taxes on, guys. Bottom line, the only thing you're going to be able to write off out
Life.
of that 2,500 is your per diem for whatever the government allows you a day for being on the road. Other than that, you're paying taxes on that 25.
So life on 18 wheels. Some people just have coconut for brains, and Brian just says, we talk about texting. I know we've been playing phone tag with each other, but the comment that he made that was kind of funny is Kamala Harris says she didn't fall out of the coconut tree. So not sure using a coconut for a brain is a good comparison because that lady is as dumb as an oyster, and I can't say that I agree with you on that. I believe that's all the message, and now somebody's horn's going off. So OTR Vic, is Joplin and Springfield, Missouri area a good area for a JB Hunt? Actually, it is because you're not far from one of our shippers, which is Jonesboro, Arkansas, and then honestly, you're really
We
not too far
also
from
we
Joplin either.
also we also haul a lot into Walmart in Bentonville, Arkansas,
Yeah, we do
which
a
is
lot of
not
stuff
very
in that
far.
area in Arkansas. Yeah, so Joplin is
Um,
a good area.
let's clean this up too. Since he brought it up, I would have never brought it up. But Austin is the one that when I met him, he'd already been here 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and he don't care for me saying this. I know he don't. He averaged for those 5 weeks. He averaged $3,900 a week before expenses, which means he took home about 1,000 a week for 5 weeks. That is unacceptable. That is shameful. And let me say this: Austin stayed out 7 days for that. He didn't work 5; he worked 7. And he had the CC that never one time spoke to him. Now, I took him. This week was the first real week that I tried to book all his freight. I had him $5,900 booked this week. On Monday, I had him in Texas on a 34. And one of JB's reps called him. We were picking up on Tuesday morning at our main customer and said, I see you're right outside the customer and then your load is ready. Is there any way you could go pick it up? And we need that empty trailer you got because we don't have enough trailers at that customer to load. And before he agreed to do it, he called me. And he said, what do you think? And I said, well, I said, I would PC over there and get the load, and I'd finish my 34. And Austin come from Prime. And I have all the respect in the world for Prime Inc. I got nothing bad to say about Prime Inc. But one of the things they do at Prime Inc. because they run recaps. They want their drivers to run recaps because they set so freaking much they don't have to worry about running out of 70. So Austin said, I got pretty good recaps. And I said, Austin, I've been driving a truck since 98. I don't know nothing about recaps. I'm going to have to trust you. And I talked to Julie.
Country you're on, by the way.
And Julie looked at his logbook and she said he's sitting pretty on recaps. I said, okay. So long story short, we came down to the middle of the week and Austin called me and he said, we're in trouble. And I said, what do you mean we're in trouble? He said, I'm not going to have enough hours to finish that last load, and that's $1,500 load. So we lost that $1,500 load. So now instead of being $5,900 to Austin, we're $44. Okay? And I was able today to find him a load that I think he's going to be able to get off on this paycheck for 13. So we're still going to get him to 57, which is, keep in mind, he's done 39 for 5 weeks. So the first week I had him, he's going to be at 57. So if you ask Austin if I'm worth $500 referral that ain't even coming out of your pocket, he's going to tell you, hell yeah. Okay? Now, I told that story to say this: you cannot run recaps at JB Hunt.
So let me phrase. I got 3 comments on here that I want to phrase, and then we're going to get with country here. Jason, you commented about, do you guys drive? Do you have drivers and stuff? When you call me tomorrow, I'll explain our whole situation to you. I don't really like to talk about it on YouTube, but I will explain the whole situation. And Brian, just for you, we can't. And that's what he's just talking about. We've already proved that we can't run recaps doing what we do. We pretty much have to run our clocks out and do a hard 34 to reset with the stuff that we do. And I've talked to you about this before. Our numbers look really hokey when you look at them on paper. But, right now with the way the market is, it's what works for us to what we need to do. Yeah, we run our asses off. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Do I like that? No, I don't like that. I would love to run recaps, but unfortunately, JB Hunt is just not set up to make the money that we need to make and run recaps.
Well, let me say this about our numbers, James, and I'm going to kind of clarify what you beat around the bush about. when you came here, I had 4 trucks is all I had, and we were running Toyota dedicated to
That's right.
Texas. And then we had to get a backhaul. And Texas is not a good place to be hauling out of. And so we were running anywhere from 600 to 800 miles a week empty, which drove down our rate per mile for all miles. But we were still making a good check. Now that we lost Toyota and we've had to restructure what we're hauling to this other customer, we're now able to pull in a facility, do a drop, and pull a load back out of that facility. So I've been able to cut our deadhead miles way down. So our numbers are going to shortly start to look a lot better, James.
Yep. So, Brian, I know you're not knocking it. I'm just trying to explain it the best way I can. I wasn't taking it that way at all. The other comment that I want to get, and then we'll get on to country. Michael Pierre, I saw that you made a comment. We did speak earlier, and he says he's going to orientation on the 3rd of next month. So we're going to have 2 people in orientation on the 3rd. We got James
Smith.
What was James Smith?
Is it Smith?
And
yeah.
We got Michael Pierre and Michael Pierre's buddy. That was the 2 guys that we talked to yesterday.
Out of Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 3.
All right, country. What's going on, brother?
Good, man. How's my audio sound?
Oh, your audio sounds great, man.
All right. Just try. I don't use the headset on videos, so I was just curious. Good. How y'all doing, Poppy? First time being able to chat. I talked to James quite a bit, but
yeah,
we spoke.
And I stuck around and I'm going to stay for a minute to see, and then I'm going to depart. I didn't tell James this on purpose because I didn't want him to cancel the show. But I just got a phone call 10 minutes before we went on the air that one of our closest family's friends passed away this evening unexpectedly. And
damn, bro.
My heart's not in doing the trucking thing. I've hit it and I've done it to this point, but I got one thing on my mind, that's getting this load off and getting home.
This was 18 Wheels wants to know, are you heading south or north? I don't know why he has to ask this during a show, but he wants to know, Poppy. You guys are close to each other.
I'm in Mount Jackson, Virginia. I'm going to pull out at 3 a.m. When my clock comes back, I'm going to Aberdeen, Maryland, and drop this, and then I'm deadheading all the way home. I'm going to try to get home by 3 o'clock. This was one of my son's best friends. He played ball with his dad, and we were very close. And he was playing golf, and his stomach started hurting. And they took him to the hospital, and they told him he had a bowel blockage. They were going to open him up and fix it, and he didn't make it out of surgery. And it was supposed to have been a routine surgery. And he's, you get up one morning, and you're fine, and you're gone that evening.
Brother, I hate hearing that, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, pretty much similar to the same story you just had. My son's 16 years old. One of his teammates.
So I'm glad you guys can go on with the show, and James can answer any JB Hunt questions y'all have. And I didn't want James to know before time because I was afraid he'd cancel, and we canceled a couple times already, and I didn't want to do that. And so if y'all have questions, give them to James, and if James will know the answer, and then if there's something I need to get involved in, then James will let me know tomorrow. But I just want to get home, and I probably won't sleep, but I need to try to sleep. I got to roll in 6 hours. And
well, go ahead and take off, man.
James, call me. I'll be rolling after 3 a.m. James. So just call me in the morning when you start rolling.
All right, buddy. Sounds good,
man. And good. Hey, man, y'all have a good show. And let's plug this before I leave. I came up this idea today, and it's either going to be great or it's going to be the biggest flop ever. But truckers like to fuss and moan and bitch and complain, so we're going to do a bitch and complain show next week. I want all y'all to join us, and you can tell us what you hate most about trucking, whether it's your truck or your dispatcher or your company or one. We don't want to get sued, so you can't name customers, but you can say customer, or maybe it's Flying J's showers. I don't know what it's going to be, but you know how truck drivers are. They'll whine over a bad cup of coffee. So we'll call it the whining show next week, and it ought to be fun. We ought to get some laughs out of that. So y'all be sure and come on in for that.
Yeah, I think so, man.
All right. Well, y'all have a good show, man. I'm gonna try to sleep if I can at all, so I can go home.
All right,
All
buddy.
right, old
Get some
buddy.
rest,
All
man. We'll
right.
talk to you later.
All right. Talk to me tomorrow. Now we'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So what's happening, brother? Anything good?
I'm in Lake City right now. I gotta finally get out of Florida tomorrow. But I do want to piggyback off of what y'all talking about earlier. This is pretty much specifically answering OTR Vic's question when it comes to, because he said he missed what y'all was talking about, the JB Hunt discount, and I only learned this going through the talks with your recruiter Brenda. It just
Right.
at the end of the day, between me and Brenda conversating things on my end and JB, we just didn't match up. So therefore, that's why I'm not there, right? But what I did learn from Brenda is, even though you even said, and everybody knows that discounts varies depending on what regional market you're in. However, the best thing that I learned about JB Hunt during that talk is JB Hunt offers the drivers 100% of the fuel discount.
Right.
So whatever the company is being offered, that 100% of that goes to you, the driver. So I think that's the easiest answer, because, I know at Schneider, we're not getting 100% fuel discount. They're probably keeping 30, 40% of it and only giving us the 38, 48 cents or whatever it may be that week. And I feel like, because that's the only thing I can figure. You can call it conspiracy theory all you want, but if there's so many companies, F2F, Shelton, Boyd Brothers, JB Hunt, that has these massive, sometimes dollar or more discounts, how can a mega like Schneider not have that same amount but not offer it to their drivers? To only one company.
I never figured that out the few months that I was there, or why they would do that.
Well, I think that these companies are being offered a discount, but not all the companies are passing the full discount down to their drivers. I think Schneider's one of the ones that, like, I'm with Schneider. Those of you who don't know, I think Schneider's maybe giving us 50% of the discount that they get offered, and they're just pocketing the other 50%. I believe that. That's the only logical reason I can come up with why the Schneider discount is so much lower than everybody else. Two trucks side by side, pumps next to each other, same day, same hour. How they getting $1 off? I'm getting 40 cents off. You know what I mean?
Right.
How can you explain it otherwise?
I got you. So Life on 18 Wheels said that Swift is the same way. They don't pass the discounts to the driver. You're exactly right. With Swift, they only give you 5 cents. It doesn't matter what place you go to. It's 5 cents.
It's only 5 no matter where you go.
5 cents. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change. Doesn't do anything. Now, what they do have is they have a fuel surcharge once a week, and it's the government fuel surcharge. I don't know what it is this week, but it averages anywhere between 30 and 80 cents, depending on what the fuel cost is. So the fuel surcharge was always really good. It's just the actual discounts through the ComData suck. Austin, if you want to come on, text me right now your number, and I don't think I have it. You know what? I do have it in my phone. Let me send him a link. I think he wants to come on. He's never been on before.
I'll ask you instead of Poppy, because Poppy was saying how he's going over. Now they're going to have 12 drivers on what he's calling his team, and he's routing these drivers, and apparently he's not getting anything on the back end for doing this work.
Nope. That's why we want our recruiters.
And they're not using the people that he's helping. Most of them are not using the referrals, which would help SFI and company. Both of those referral programs will work out good, but if he's not getting anything from these people, why does he even do that extra work? Why? Mr. James, do you? Okay, not James. Yeah.
I'm listening to you. I don't know.
Well,
man.
I know you. I know you are, but I'm just saying that you took him out because of the echo. He needs to have a Bluetooth put in.
No, I think that was me, not him. I'm trying to get him set up right now. I had to get him a link. He's got a link now. He can come in. I don't know, man.
But yeah, why do that extra work for nothing? I mean, not to be a nice guy, or is he addicted to stress?
No, he you got to understand, Chris is a good guy. I mean, I don't know how else to explain that. I don't know why
I mean, yeah, I can tell when y'all talk, and I've watched a lot of y'all streams, and I can just tell he's a genuine person. He's a good guy. He wants to help people succeed. But there's a point to where if you're driving your whole damn day yourself and you're maxing your hours out, and then you're trying to manage 12 other and get them successful booking routes for them to have a solid week too. What I mean, you got to there's got to be something on the back end to get something from somewhere. And if there's
Well,
not, why do that extra work and put yourself out
let
that
me put it.
much just because you're a
Let
nice
me
guy?
let me put it this way to you. I can't go into a whole lot of details on here about it. If I talk to you in private sometime, I'll explain it to you a little bit better. Um, Life on 18 wheels, I don't know why you just love texting me when I'm live, and you know that. I think you do it just to irritate the old man. But anyway, when I talk to you in private, I'll explain to you what we got going on. We have a bigger picture of what we're going to be doing here soon.
I feel like I know. I mean, I
you
feel like
probably do in a roundabout way.
well, because when I ask myself this question of why, is there only one thing I can come up with is it's practice, so to speak.
Yeah. This is this is a little bit of a practice, but we have bigger futures. Hey, Austin, turn your phone sideways so you can be landscape there. There you go. Takes up better room. What's going on, buddy? It's first time been on live with us, man.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, everything's great, man. There's anybody else in here who wants to go live with us, just send me a message on here. I'd be more than happy to send the link. But you still stuck in Florida country?
Yeah, I'll leave out in the morning.
All right, you got you a load?
Yeah, finally got something to get me out. I'm just doing like a little Middleburg to Valdosta.
Yeah. So just to
get me out of Florida.
Just so you know for future, when you go to Florida, and I'm not telling you you do nothing you don't already know, but I always so here's a couple loads, and it depends on where you're at. In Cocoa, Florida, which is literally like right around the corner from where I live at, there's a load in Snyder has that goes out every single day. They got about 4 or 5 loads that go out every single day out of Cocoa that go to Jacksonville. I would always take that load, get to Jacksonville. When I got to Jacksonville, I would either find something in Jacksonville or I would deadhead to Savannah or somewhere in that area, and that's where I would go to from there.
Well, that's where I was working. I cleared the Walmart in Brookville on Tuesday afternoon.
Okay.
And I was doing 500-mile searches, and nothing was popping up to where I had a few unconfirmed loads that I had saved. They never confirmed, or they would confirm while I was asleep, and I missed them. But also, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, the only reason I decided to come back to Florida on this trip is one, it was just too good to say no to on the rate. But two, I've been chrome hunting. You know, I was wanting to hit the 75 chrome shop. I was wanting to hit the 75 chrome shop. I was wanting to hit Rainey's chrome shop, and I was wanting to get my wheels polished. So I was like, I'm going to Florida. If I don't get out, I'm going to take care of my little personal wants. Now, I wasn't going to not take a load just to do that, but if I didn't get a load immediately, I wasn't going to be too heartbroken, so I can at least get those things out of my way, right? Problem is, I got stuck down here for 3 damn days, and neither 75 Chrome Shop or Rainey's Chrome Shop had anything for my truck.
So the only there's another Chrome Shop at mile marker 4 in Georgia on 75, and it's by the Flying J on the west side of the highway. It's not a very big one. I've never walked in there, but they do have stuff there. And then you got Asian Mice Place is way down 95 down in, I think it's Hollandale, Florida, down by Miami.
I passed one coming down 65, the 299 Chrome Shop there on Alabama, right off there's a big Petro there.
Yep.
I passed that. I was like, well, I mean, there's Chrome Shops everywhere. I passed 100 of them. But when you Google for parts online, the 2 biggest shop you see is 75 Chrome Shop and Rainey's Chrome Shop.
Rainey's so is all order.
Well, that's the thing. I went into Rainey's, and all the parts for a 2024 Cascadia have to be ordered, and their delivery time is 3 months. I'm like, well, shit, I can do that on my own. Problem is, the reason I don't order parts is because I'm never in a location often enough to where I can just receive mail. I've got places I can send, but how often am I there? Not enough to where I can expect to order a bunch of big ass boxes with parts in them expect someone to store them for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, right? So I'm just not that guy. I'm not going to try to inconvenience anybody just so I can have some parts waiting on me whenever I decide to show up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. But yeah, I finally got to load out tomorrow. I'm going to tell. I got a few days to chain together to get me up. I will end up in West Jefferson, Ohio, on Tuesday, and there is a nice Freightliner dealership there. What's it called? Freeland's Freightliner in West Jefferson. So I'll stop by there and look at see what parts they got. They might have some there, but if not, I was ready to spend money yesterday, and I just didn't. So I guess it's a good thing. At least I didn't spend no money. Outside of getting my wheels polished, I got them polished, and I got all my caps on now. They look really fucking sharp, man. They look really good.
Yeah. How about the exact same caps that you sent me, man? And I like them.
Yeah,
they look
they're good.
really good.
Get your wheels polished. Get your wheels polished.
Mm-hmm.
They'll match all shiny, man. Pay $300 for my polishing.
That's gonna be the next project. So what's going on with you, Austin? Tell us a little bit about your journey so far.
Everything's been going pretty good. Things got a lot better now that Chris is helping me with the loads and stuff. Right now I'm sitting at $4,900 in revenue.
That's
To
awesome.
me, that's after the fuel that I bought so far, and that's after all fixed expenses. And then I've got another load I'm picking up tomorrow. And I think it's around 1,500 to me to the truck.
Okay.
So I've got another fuel. I've got another 2 fuels to get between now and then.
Let me ask you, Austin. Do you have a SFI truck?
Yeah, I have an SFI truck. It's my payment's $1,175 a week, and that's with $50 going back into the stored account.
Oh, your truck credit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I chose to do $100 a week because I felt like that's $5,200 a year. I felt like that'd give me 4 weeks vacation a year.
Yep.
That's kind of what my thought process was. I mean, I'll probably want to take a week off around Christmas or something, Thanksgiving, whatever. At least I'll have 4 weeks vacation with a truck credit. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna up it. I just started at $50 a week because I mean,
That's
I
a good
don't have
number. Most
I
people
don't have a
do.
problem with Prime or anything like that. I didn't leave Prime in a bad manner or anything. It's just there was too much time in between loads and waiting around and stuff. So
Yeah.
I got deep into my savings trying to hang on at Prime, and so now playing catch up.
Was you company with Prime or was you a lease operator?
Lease operator.
So now you just got your SFI truck. When you got it, you came straight to JB?
Yeah.
So it's been what, 5-6 weeks now total, I guess?
Since July, the Wednesday after the 4th of July, whatever day that was.
So what you got a brand new truck, 2024?
I got a 22.
22? Okay. I can see by your closet you got a Cascadia.
Yep.
Yep, we all got. Well, yeah.
With the table.
Oh, you got the premium. You went premium. Ugh. See, now here's why I'm buying all the chrome now, because I didn't get the premium. Why did I not get the premium? I got a 24, and I just got my truck in February. So I got a 24 because I was a company driver with Schneider for 15 months, and then I went IC in February, and I got a 24 Cascadia. But why didn't I go premium? One, I don't like the daggone leather they have inside one of these gray. That's why I didn't do it. At least on the 24 model. I didn't look at any earlier ones, but the 24 model, it's got that tan. It's like a cardboard color tan leather trim on the door and the seats, and it just didn't match the interior nicely in my view. 2, my big ass ain't fitting that table to begin with, and all the effort to bring that table up wasn't worth it to me. And 3, I was like $5,000 extra for just having chrome accents on the truck. Wasn't worth it to me.
Well, see, when I do some. I'm starting to do more and more cooking in the truck, and having the table here versus having the little pull-out thing, the little pull-out desk.
Yep.
It makes a big difference. And underneath of where I'm sitting at, which is on the driver's side, it's got a wall outlet, so I can run an extension cord from the wall outlet over to the back side of the table and hook up the air fryer or skillet or whatever.
Yeah, I cook. I got an electric skillet. I got a 12-inch electric skillet. I got a 7-inch electric skillet. Got my microwave, of course, and I got one of those mini what's it called, my mini egg cooker, like 7 boiled eggs. And I just got a foldable. Which is what my camera is on now. I got a foldable TV tray stand. As my kitchen, my stove, I should say, my stovetop. So that's where everything goes. I mean, I get the reasons for the table would be convenient, but I'm a big boy, man. I just don't think I'd fit in the corner anyway. So why bother?
Yeah, I enjoy it though. I like having it.
That's good, man. I'm glad you do, for
sure. It's not that bad because on the passenger side, I don't usually open that seat up, so it's always closed. So when I get ready to go to bed, I just pull the lever in front of the table, lower this seat, and drop the bed. So it's not really as much as cumbersome as I thought it was going to be.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the mattress thickness varies on having the table versus not having the table, because I got this one was it's the big thick black one, like the 10-inch thick.
I know what you're talking about. This one is not a big thick one. This one's probably about 6 inches.
Yeah, the top one is 8 inches. The top one's 8 inches thinner, and it's or thicker, or not as wide and as thinner. Yeah, the top one's smaller than the bottom for sure. I'm talking about the one you sleep on.
See, what I was looking at is right back up here where the bed's folded up. I can feel the mattress here.
Oh, that's
and
right.
It's only about
Yeah,
it's only about 6 inches thick.
Okay,
the mattress that came with it. And since I don't push this all the way back against the wall, I'm going to end up getting one of the nicer mattresses, one of the thicker mattresses, because it'll fit. Since I don't close this all the way, because the stairs right here, it kind of holds it in place where it won't fall forward.
Okay. So is the mattress comfortable that's on there?
It's all right for now. It's not super comfortable.
Yeah, it sounds like you said 6 inches thick. Sounds like what I had in my company truck. Just just the plain Jane, throw it in there and be done with it.
Yeah,
it's not the one that came from the factory.
One that SFI puts in the trucks.
Well, I feel like they got that out of their company. Well, like I said, the one that I got is from the factory, which I think the factory ones are the thicker ones when you have a new one. So,
hey, Austin, you said your payment is $11.75, right?
That's correct.
Is that everything?
Yes, for the truck. That's $11.75. Right? That's everything for the truck, and an additional $50 that's going into my maintenance account or storage account or whatever they call it.
It's called credit. How much are they requiring you to put in your maintenance with the older truck?
The older truck, my breakdown is $225 going into the managed maintenance account.
Your MMA is $225 a week.
Something. Yeah, $225 a week.
What's your actual truck payment?
$8 something.
Okay.
Oh, see.
So you're paying $875, then you're putting a $225 in, which is $1,025, and you're putting in another $50, right?
Yeah, the $50 into the personal account thing.
So that's $1075 then, not $1175. What's the extra $100?
No, that's what my truck payment is. Let's see here. Maybe I've got the numbers wrong. It's $800 and something for the truck payment.
I'm pretty sure, to answer Vic's question, insurance is not included in that. That's just his SFI payment.
No, that's just the SFI payment.
Yeah. Yeah, our insurance is cheap over here. It's only like $90 a week, I think.
Yeah, I think it's not much. I purchased everything from mine. My insurance is, hell, I got a spreadsheet right here that'll tell me. Hang on, I'll tell you exactly.
Your Schneider insurance is cheaper than JB's, if I remember correctly.
Let's see. My total insurance a week is. Come here. Let me get to a blank week. 1556.38 is for everything. My truck is $13.51, so I got $200 a week in insurance. I bought everything. Like I said, I got everything. It's I got the physical damage, bobtail, occupational physical damage, buyback, bodily injury, my personal cargo personal property registration. I pay like $200 a week for all the insurance and everything. So,
okay. Well, Vipe on 18 Wheels said he would come in, but I think he's pampering his nose right now or something. He's in the powder room or something. He's taking his sweet ass time. So Amon Smith said his closing date is on the 19th. I'm debating pushing it out to October. Amon, I don't know if you I know you said you emailed me. I'm gonna put my phone number down. Why don't you give me a call tomorrow? And we can talk.
I wanna ask Amon. Is he one of the guys that he's going to kind of come over with you guys and work? Is that right?
Yep. That's what he said.
And when he's talking about his closing date, September, thinking about pushing it back, is that his SFI closing date?
I'm sure that's what it is.
Okay, so Amon, if that's for SFI getting your truck, why are you considering pushing it back? That's my question. Why delay it? Because here's my reason. Here's my reason for asking is someone which gave me some solid advice to begin with. Pretty much told me what I'm about to say to you, because I was like, I'm thinking about doing this. Here's the reasons why I'm waiting. I wanted to save up enough cushion so I have a little bit of time so I can do through the learning curve that it's going to take, so I wouldn't go completely broke initially or whatever. And I was throwing out all these reasons. The guy pointed out to me, he's like, dude, you're just scared. You're making excuses and making them valid in your head. If you're going to do it, just do it. There's no point in putting it off. Just do it. You either fail or you don't. And for me, that just clicked in my head. I just did it, and you work through it.
So, James, here is what it shows me on the contract that I got with SFI. I don't know if you can see that or not.
No, we can't see it. You can just read it off.
The truck payment is $898.87.
Okay.
And then it's $226 for the managed maintenance account. So that's $1124. And then I've got $50 extra I put in a week.
That's okay. That's exactly it then. $1175. Okay.
Well, if that's your reason, Amon, I'd say the best way to learn is on the job, buddy. Honestly.
So Amon says yes, he wants to learn from me. Give me a call tomorrow, Amon. Give me a call tomorrow, and we can talk about it. Brian Jess says, I'm running a 2020 Kenworth T680 with 369K on the miles. Payment is $14.95 a month with an insurance payment of $285. Yeah, I know, Brian, you got a great deal. He said he also gets paid after every load and just moved 50% of my take and 80-20 split into my savings account for maintenance.
Are you at Mercer, Brian?
He's at SRO Logistics. There's only like 5 or 6 drivers that are there. It's a small company.
Yeah, I don't know about SRO. I don't know. I think you mentioned it to me there one or two conversations ago. I don't know anything about them. Well, when you said paid after every load, I immediately thought of Mercer, and I was really going to. I was there. I was there at Mercer, even as recent as 2 weeks ago. I was like, I was right there, and I told her to stop. I said, stop everything right now. I'm not moving no further. Here's why. Thank you so much, because Cassidy was awesome. I stopped it. And I did a video explaining why I decided to stop it. So there's no secrets on my end at all. I'm an open book, man. I'm 100% all the time.
Yeah, I don't know why Life on 18 Wheels is having such a problem getting in. He says he didn't get it. Yes, Todd was at SRO, Amon. Yep, that's exactly where he was. He's talking about Trucker Todd. You ever watch Trucker Todd?
Is he the Canadian guy?
No, Trucker Todd.
All right, no.
Yep, I used to watch him. I don't watch him as much anymore.
I don't know who it is. The only trucker videos that I watch regularly, that's a hell of a word. Watch KO's videos. He comes out 3 days a week. I watch Trucking Together. I watch Just Trucking. Rabbit, when he finally puts a video up every 3 months or so.
Yep.
Pretty much watch y'all's lives. Oh, Life and Love. Who else do I watch? Shit, let me look through my subscription list here.
Buddy, I got so many guys that I watch.
I kind of watch this Go Hard Supreme guy sometimes, but I'm hoping he gets better at YouTube creation. But
who's that?
9 Supreme Go Hard. He works for he's a Hertzbot driver.
Yeah, I watch him. He's actually pretty good. He's having some difficulty. I honestly thought about reaching out to him like I did with you, Larry, and just saying, hey, I might have an option for you here, because I actually like his videos. He's really good at what he does, man.
Yeah, the only thing that I have an issue with on him is the way he don't start and stop videos the way he should. In my opinion, he's like, he'll do an intro, then in the middle of the video he'll do another intro. It's like, I don't know if this is the same video or the new video or whatever. Blah blah. I don't get it. So, one day he'll get better at YouTube creating, but overall his content's all right. I like watching him and listening to him and following his journey, because I did look at Hirschbach initially.
So
what up, 18?
OTR Vic made a comment. He said, Trucker Todd, no disrespect, but he went downhill after leaving Swift. Yeah, I got to be not talking bad about a friend or anything, but there were some decisions that were made there, and I think he knows that. He was trying to better himself, tried to make a move up, which we all do, and sometimes our moves, and he was making money. I'm not saying he didn't make a move up, but a few mishaps happened along the way. And I know he watches my shows and stuff, and I'm not talking bad about him, but he in a nutshell, he tried to do better for himself, and I think ultimately he did, but some unfortunate things came up, and then he had some health issues that really kind of brought him down. But yeah, I mean, I think he even knows that he probably shouldn't have left Swift. I think we all know that. Honestly, maybe sometimes I think maybe I shouldn't have left Swift. Same thing with you, Life on 18 Wheels. A lot of people talk crap about Swift, but we all learned from Swift, and we all moved on and went to better things. And Austin, I know you started off with Prime, and you learn a lot from Prime too, but ultimately I think we all made the move where we're at to better ourselves. And it's kind of a question, and I know, Larry, you're trying to make that chess move too.
I'm pumpkin
right
grown, baby.
Yeah,
I'm a pumpkin at heart.
Right.
But I will tell you, the one thing that my opinion hasn't changed since day one being with Schneider. I think Schneider is a great company as a whole. Nobody's perfect. No company you go to is going to be perfect. You're not going to like everything. As a whole, as a company driver, it was a flawless experience with my team leader. I had a great team leader, and I think he was the main reason why I feel this way and still do. It's because of the way he treated me in my growing pains. Okay. I will say the communication has always been a problem with this company. I flipping hate their communication process when you got to message someone who's got to message someone who's got to message someone, and they got to message 3 more people before you finally get an answer, and all of a sudden 5 hours later you get a response. I hate that. I hate that with a passion. And right now my biggest problem with Schneider is just the inconsistency of the board. That is the biggest thing that I'm running myself. That's the biggest thing that irks me, and I still look at other opportunities. I still talk to things, and I may find something that will work with me the way I want to run, because I'll be honest, the way these guys are running, I don't know about how 18 runs a whole lot, but I know how the JB Hunt guys run in this little collage of drivers they got. 3,500 miles a week, maxing out every single day, running their ass off hard 6 days a week. That ain't me, yo. Let me rephrase that. I'm not saying I can't do it because I have done it. I don't want to go that hard. I don't feel like I need, or I don't feel like I should have to go that hard to make a good living. And money is not my 100% motivator. It's not. People look at me like I'm crazy. What do you mean you don't care about? I care about money, but money is not my decision maker. You know what I mean? People can't grasp that, but it's just true.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. I know exactly where you're getting at.
Can I ask a question though? Seriously though, doesn't 18 Wheels? Doesn't he look like a DJ from the Backstreet Boys?
Yeah, he did. He needs to have the disco lights in the back of that truck and the bass rolling.
I'm not the one with the disco lights here. It's Mr. James back here. He's the one with all the disco lights now.
You look like a Twitch streamer,
through the Saturday Night Fever. You're living through the little Slash Backstreet Boys Matchbox 20 little beanie cap. And
listen, I had to throw something on my head. There is no way I'm getting on camera with this muffin top, man.
You make Nickelback look good, buddy.
What's Nickelback?
Yes, you do, man.
Yeah, so I mean, that's my biggest thing right now. What I'm looking for is more, and I almost chose, and I'm still considering Landstar really, really hard, but I've got to make a decision. Do I want to get a hazmat endorsement, which I probably will never use, just so I can go over there? Maybe. I'm leaning towards the yes more than I was 3 weeks ago.
Speaking of which, country, Brian Jess just put a comment directed to you. It says, "Big Country, give Scott at SRO a call. Talk to him about how he operates his company. He thinks you might be interested." I somewhat agree, man. The way you like to run and what you like to do, country. And again, it's all about what the deposit would be for you to switch your truck over there. But you should
I've been here long enough now. There's no deposit.
Really? Even if you were to move it to a small company?
Yeah, I wouldn't have to pay additional deposit. I'm at that trust level now.
Okay, you should give.
That's the whole point of that. That's the whole point about the deposit is they want to see how committed you are to your truck. Do you want to keep your? So that's why when they have you switch over, like if you just have to switch over 2 or 3 months and you haven't really had that consistent payment, how serious are they keeping this truck? Let's just jack them up $4,000 or $5,000, make them pay that more, and if they pay that, they're committed. That's all that's about is proof of commitment.
So it's just pretty much they just throw a number out there and just see if you'll just bite the hook or something.
Pretty much, but I think the numbers is based on what company you choose. I was told the way it was explained to me, they'll look at the company's MC number and see if it's someone based off of that and they're willing to work with. That's pretty much how they do it. Now, the bigger companies, they already have in their mind what they're going to charge. Some random one-offs, maybe like an SRO, might be a little different, but I feel like I'm at that commitment level that they understand I'm keeping the truck, and they'll just direct debit my account. And that's what they was going to do at Mercer. I was like, Mercer pays us every day, after every load, not every week. And they don't take deductions from our checks. How would you have me pay? They said, we'll just direct debit your account every Friday. I'm like, well, cool. That's the simplest way I thought it would be, but I'm glad you said that too, instead of making it so complicated, right? So now that I know, and now y'all know, SFI, after you have that certain trust level that they believe in you, they'll work with you. They'll direct debit from your account. You don't have to go to a company that they automatically debit from your settlements.
Well, that's what they're doing. For me, they're taking it out of my account. It's not.
Yeah, see.
Direct. Yeah.
There you go. So some companies now they'll do it. But
here.
All right. Yeah.
A couple comments here. Brian just says, if you want to feel like you have your own authority without all the extra bills that come with it, then it's a great place. I've actually talked to Loan Details about Brian about that, and that might be something in the near future too. OTR Vic says, so if that's the case, then does that transfer deposit go towards your truck payment? Yes, it does. Yes. So if you with me coming over to JB Hunt, I had to put another $500 down, and all that does is go into a kitty and goes towards my final truck payment is what it does, what they call it.
That $500 is a company transfer fee, Vic, because it doesn't change.
Yeah. And Brian just says 100% spot market, and you get 80% of whatever you negotiate with the brokers. That is an amazing contract to work under. Yes, I agree with you.
RSO. Okay.
Is SRO? Do
Brian?
you have to pay for
SRO.
Do you have to pay for like trailers and stuff, or
Yeah, he charges
is
a
that
trailer.
all?
I think he charges a trailer fee. Brian, put up a number or contact me tomorrow and give me a number for Scott to where country can give him a call.
Yeah,
And
Is that
James
where
also,
will
is
forward
there
is
it
a
that
to me.
where
trailer rental fee
Brian is
too?
right now as well too?
Yeah, Brian's it there. So if there's a charge for the trailer fee, put it up there and let us know. OTR Book said, I thought the transfer charges was because of the paperwork they have to do. Well, there is a small charge for some of the paperwork, but it's minimal, man. And again, the $500 is nothing. Sometimes if you go to some of the smaller companies, it might be in the thousands of dollars that they transfer, and that's more or less. You know what? Now that you said that, OTR Vic, my $500 was for the transfer. They didn't charge me a fee to take the truck over to JB. It's
Yeah.
just they charged me $500 for the transfer fee.
Yeah, and you
That's
know
what it
what?
was.
When you mentioned something just a minute ago, answering his question about the transfer fee, because that $500 is a transfer fee,
Yeah,
and I wasn't sure what. Now that you've just said your statement, that fee it doesn't go towards your truck payment, right? It's
that's
just a
right.
fee.
That's right.
Okay.
That's just the
Okay.
fee. The $500 doesn't
Yeah,
go. That's
because
right.
a minute ago you said, yeah, okay, all right, well, because it got me thinking, because when I was initially first going to go to Mercer, I had my videos done, but then my hood got smacked, right? Then Mercer said, hold your horses, get your hood fixed, then come to us. I'm like, well, it's just cosmetic. They said, well, it's still safety saying, hey, get it fixed, then come over. So what had happened, I had already paid that $500, and they had already sent paperwork to Mercer. But then this damage happened. Then I had to call SFO. I said,
Right.
listen, I just got this damage. That transfer is done, and I had to skip a week that week of a payment. So what she did says, okay, since this happened, we're going to take that $500 and we're going to apply that to your missed week, and that way you only have to pay the remainder the following week.
So
So
Brian says the trailer's $150 a week.
they
If you
were
buy
able
your
to
own trailer,
transfer.
it's 2. Yeah, if you buy your own trailer, it gives you an extra 2%, and you get an added 2% after 12 months of service. SR pays 100% of the trailer maintenance, unless it's deemed driver negligence.
What's his
Like curb a tire or bend a rim, that's on you. Blowing a tire going down the highway, it's on him.
what
What'd you
is
say, 18?
hey Brian, what are you grossing over there currently right now?
Yeah, what's your grosses over there? I know me and you talked back and forth about it. You've been killing it. $7,000-8,000 weeks. I know you told me about that.
While we're waiting on that, how's Landstar been there, Mr. 18?
I mean, it has its ups and downs, but I am so glad that I'm here. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Um, I'm doing what I can, and despite some of the stuff, I'm still enjoying it.
So
I had a load that screwed me over last week before last week, coming out of Miami going up to Washington, hazmat load itself, and something was just off about it. So I called the hazmat department that we had. They ran through the paperwork, checked everything out, and it was just they had a load of batteries in these brand new laptops, and just the way they didn't have any bill of ladings for them, and just the way they were having all that stuff, all the paperwork set up, Landstar was like a no-go on it, and try to get them to change the paperwork and stuff, just to make it legal for DOT. And their big excuse was, oh well, we've been hauling it like this for 10-15 years, we never had no problem until today. Well, Landstar has been having an issue lately with their CSA scores, and they've been auditing every single thing. So since Shiver didn't want to go ahead and take care of the situation, how Landstar wanted to, I lost out on a pretty good paying load from Miami to Washington.
now, was that Washington State or DC?
Washington State.
Holy
Yeah,
shit! What's that, like 3,700 miles?
it was a cross country. It was a cross country load, but it was paying like. Well, I was paying like $8,000. It was like about 7-8 grand for the whole load. It wasn't spectacular, but for what it is and how the market is, it was pretty decent.
So where you at
But
now?
Right now I'm over here in Virginia, heading back down to Atlanta, Florida area. Got a load on me for the weekend, so.
So is this the region you normally like? Like, where's home for you? Like, what region do you like running?
I prefer to stay in the Midwest and the South. Just in general, it didn't matter whatever company I was working at. That's like my home turf. That's how I like to do it. But
I like
ended up
South.
finding
I like I-10. I-10 is my favorite route.
listen.
I-10
I ended
Florida,
up
Texas.
finding myself coming out of Albuquerque on Monday.
Buddy, if I could run from Jacksonville to Houston every single week, that would be my ideal run.
I mean, we would all love to do that, but I just came out on Monday from Albuquerque, came all the way up to New Jersey right before the George Washington Bridge to do a delivery, and turned right around and grabbed me another load heading back down south.
I tell you what, I lied a little bit ago, James. I could have got out of Florida on Tuesday evening, but I will not go to Maine, Connecticut. I won't do it.
You know what?
But
I saw that load.
I wouldn't do it either.
Snyder.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't do it either.
Close to taking it, but I knew
I was too.
I knew I would never get out of there, man.
What was that from Palatka, whatever town it is, Palatka, Florida?
Palatka.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
$2,600.
Somewhere in the middle of the north.
It was $2,600 to go from Palatka to Maine.
How much was it?
Like a $2,600, like for like $1.90 a mile. I should have taken that because I knew I wasn't going to find anything better, but it was going to Maine. I tried to find a follow up in Maine. I had to. No, it just wasn't working, man. Everything was. I feel like here lately, it may have been like this always. Maybe I'm just now recognize it, but I feel like
it's always Snyder.
Been like that. I think I know what I feel like is the Snyder load board. Whatever region you're in, you're region locked. It seems like I'm in Florida. I can't find anything outside of Georgia or South Carolina or Florida. Everything stays right here. And when I got one of those loads going to Virginia, I get Pennsylvania, the Northeast, and finally got one going to Ohio. Like whatever region I'm in, that's all the load options that I'm seeing. And I'm supposed to be OTR. Don't region lock my ass. Give me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's conspiracy theory going on with the current state of the load board, but that's just what it looks like, and it's what it feels like. So I'm like, stop it.
So Brian Jess answered, he's averaging 6,000 to 7,000 gross, and he's running mostly 400, 500-mile loads. He rarely runs to the point that he has to stop for a 30-minute break. So, Brian, and to conclude with that, and that's something that me and Chris talk about all the time, 6,000 to 7,000 gross, is that after the 20% that Scott takes? And is that your money, or is that before?
Gross,
I feel like
should be just a total
I feel like
before
I feel like gross means
gross
before all expenses. Yeah. So I feel like
Scott's going to get his 2,000 out of that, and then you're looking at 4,000 to 5,000. Then is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're pretty close. If that's the case, then you're pretty close to what we're doing, really, realistically.
But I feel like if he's like right now, he's saying maybe 400 miles. Because I've been doing the past few weeks, which my numbers have gotten better for doing this. And I'm not working as hard. I've been running recaps until I got stuck down here for 3 days, 2.5 days. I did a reset, pretty much forced to do a reset. But I've been working 8-hour days.
He just confirmed that's before Scott's 20%. Yeah. So we are right.
So by him saying that, that's kind of the way I've been running the past couple of weeks. And you feel not as you don't feel as tired. You're still covering 400 to 450 miles in an 8-hour period pretty steadily. So it's not like you're not running. It's just you're not running as hard because you don't feel like you should have to, right? So maybe SRO is a company I have to look into. If like he said, like James said, Brian, it may be. I don't know anything about them. I'll look at them and talk to them and. If Brian does send you James that information, James will definitely forward it my way.
I'll get it for you tomorrow. I'll send it to you. Brian will call me. Kingsway Trading and Trucking Tip said CRST. I'm not sure. I know what that means.
Crusty CRST Trucking.
Yeah, I know CRST, but that was never brought up though.
Well, he's just thrown out an example of it, and I'll be honest. This is like the 4th time I've heard someone say CRST. Not just to me, but to other people that I talked to over the past couple of weeks.
I've never heard anything negative about CRST.
Yeah.
compared to all the other mega carriers, I've never heard.
Well,
I haven't heard
nothing
anything really
negative as
negative
long as you're
about
not
them.
training and getting your CDL there, because you'll be in a truck with two other people, one over the driver's seat in a bunk above and one in the back bunk.
Right.
You know, for me, as an owner operator, I feel like if you really want to make it out here, just me personally, I just think that, you know, leasing onto a company that has company drivers is like putting yourself at a disadvantage.
I that's been one of my arguments as well. If I leave, and that was a big discussion that James and I had when we first talking about me looking into JB and talking to them. I was like, if I leave one mega, do I really want to go to another mega, which I'll be in the same situation, competing with company drivers? And James, from his experience and knowledge over there, pretty much said, listen, it's not like that here. Company's got their side. We got our own market over here.
Remember, company does dedicated here. We don't compete with company drivers. We compete with the guys that have their own authorities who we compete with.
Right. Yeah. And that's the same way at Spark Market or anywhere else. But, you know, Schneider has come out and said in orientation, if we have a driver that needs to have a home load and you're booked that load, and guess what? We may take it from you, but we'll tell you why we took it from you.
I think irregardless of the reasoning why they need that load, I feel like if you're already on it, you're already contractually obligated to that load. There should be no reason why they have to take that.
I agree.
I feel like if you're gonna take it off of me, at least you have to cut me something.
Listen, I agree with that 100%. I think it's bullshit. I agree 100%. But what I liked about that whole sentence was she's like, we're going to tell you. We're not going to just say, hey, cancel. We're not going to bullshit you. She came out and was honest. I can deal with honesty whether I like it or not. Be honest with me. And I guess it hasn't happened to me yet, but I've seen people in the Facebook group get really pissed when it has happened.
Yeah, I've seen some posts where they'll say that they'll get the load cancel on them. And I believe I saw a post where some guy said he was at the shipper getting ready to get loaded. It got canceled and a company driver pulled in there. And when he called and asked about it, they gave him a runaround. So
I mean,
maybe some people in the office might tell you, maybe some don't. You know,
I mean, I can agree with that. Like, you just never know. It's about the individual. You're right. You're 100%. Who's telling the truth, right? You just don't know.
Yep.
We have to take it on faith and whatever. But
so Amon and Brian both said that SRO is based out of Gulfport, Mississippi. And I think I kind of knew that.
Well, that ain't too
far. Look at
that. You can save up on your Chrome there, and you can hit a couple of casinos while you're over in Gulfport.
Yeah.
So Brian, when it comes to the board, you use any board that you want, or is it just or does SRO have specific boards that you know are better to use, or like you say it's open spot market? I get that, but is it any board that you choose, and who pays for the board? You or the company?
He said he did his orientation at his dining room table.
Yeah, I think if you're doing spot market, you're just using whatever board that you want. You basically want to use. You're just
that's pretty much what Brian just said.
You're just gonna give SRO his cut. Well, when time comes, and I think
does he give you login?
However you make your money is how you make your money.
I think what it is.
Does he give you logins for the load boards, or you got to pay for those yourself?
Yeah, that's about. I would know,
think that as an owner operator, you're probably paying for your own load board.
The way it
which would make sense.
A buddy of mine, he used to work under somebody, and what happens when he sets up his load board, he has to put in his company's information, and the broker pays the company, and that guy takes his percentage out and then pays you the remainder. So it's not like you get paid and you got to pay him the 20%. He gets paid and pays you your 80%.
So he says he'll set you up on all the boards that his company uses, and most are free. That you will have to pay for. So
how many trucks do he have right now?
I think he has 5 or 6 from the last I was talking.
How many what? What was the question?
5 or 6 trucks that are leased onto him. Yeah.
I wonder
so Brian, does he give you any kind of referrals for bringing people over by chance? I don't think he's big enough to do that, but I'm just curious.
And also, I mean, is it dry van only, or does he offer 85 a month for that?
He said he pays 85 a month for that. That's right.
I wonder how many vans has he got?
I think everybody over there does dry van, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey,
Brian, I mean, it seems like we got a bunch of questions for you, man.
Yeah,
you
Brian, you should have came on the damn show with us, man. I offered to have you on.
You might as well come on up here or something.
Come on up here. We'll kick 18 wheels off here and bring you on.
What?
Oh, Lord.
That's so messed up, bro. It's because
he said he never even talked about it.
That's okay. That's okay. 18. I'd be first in, first out. Just kick me out. You can just...
Brian says they are 100% dry.
Okay. All right, now, and you say they pay, like, if you bring your own drive in, you say he pays you any extra, right? That was a big thing too that sold me.
If you have your own drive van, he'll give you an extra 2%. You get 80%.
That's right.
But you get an extra 2%.
2%, and then an extra 2% after 12 months. Yeah.
So Brian says,
will he allow him to bring your own? Will you bring your own trailer like a flatbed?
Yep.
Say if you want to do flatbed, he'll let you bring a flatbed on.
Brian, can he do flatbed at all?
I mean, since it's a 100% owner-operator company and you're using his DOT, would he limit himself for that? Well, he's covered. Oh, how about the insurance? Who covers it? Like, does he offer you insurance, or you got to bring your outside insurance?
I'm pretty sure he does offer insurance. He never asked about flatbed, he said.
Okay.
So that might be something for you to look into. I mean, shit, you might have about 12, 15 drivers here that might want to come over to SRO Logistics. He'll triple his capacity here.
Yeah, at that point, you might as well go ahead and get out the truck.
Yeah, that could be the next, hell, Landstar owner operator company, Mercer owner operator company, or hell, even F2F. The SRO could be a big ass name if they get enough drivers, right?
Yeah, he says he said he'll come on next week. He said, let's plan it.
I've noticed that it's a lot of these startup companies that are doing pretty well for themselves.
Well, it's because they haven't got disrupted by corporate greed yet, and they're probably still remember what it's like being behind the wheel. And you know what I mean? They know
Scott still drives a truck. I know me and Brian's talked about that. He still runs
another company that I've also heard about, not promoting anybody or anything, but just another company I heard in passing is Light Trucking. He used to be a Snyder IC as well too. He started his own company, and
Jeffrey Light.
Yes, a lot of people they enjoy being over there.
I'm sorry, what?
Jeffrey Light. Do you know about him that started at Schneider? He's got his own company too.
I don't know who that is.
That's another guy. He runs a YouTube channel too called Truckers Education Network.
See, there's a lot of, like, I only watch truck driver stuff, right? I don't look at like these business oriented channels, like learning the back end trucking angles and markets. Like that one chick, let's go. People think it's a great channel.
Successful.
Her. Like
I love watching her show, bro. Regardless of everything, I do like watching her show because you do get.
I did learn how to figure out RPM, cost per mile. I learned how to make my spreadsheet.
Yeah, you'll learn some stuff on the back end without even actually actively learning it. Like,
I knew how to get the calculations out. I knew how to make a spreadsheet. I just didn't know what calculations I should have in there. I did learn that from her channel. Get your cost per mile, how to figure out all that crap out. So I did get good information from her, but I just don't watch those channels a lot, right? I prefer watching the real trucker out here and their day, their journey, their ups and downs, and that's just me. I'm not trying to go to school. But
so Brian answered your question about insurance. He said he covers the cargo and all the insurance related to his MC. You cover your own liability and bobtail.
Yep.
Mr. Aliviv says semi trucks are so cheap right now. Should we buy now? Because it won't get any better. Right now, to me, in my opinion, and this is just totally my opinion, I think the guys on here will agree. Right now is the time to get into trucking because it's only going to go up. When? We don't know. We're kind of in waiting to see. We're all just in survival mode at the moment. But hopefully after the election or sometime next year, we're thinking things will maybe go up.
If blue stays in, everything else is going to go jack way back up again. But if red gets
you
in the
know,
house,
I agree with you. So to think about this for a second, I agree with you to a sense. I think red's going to get in. I don't see any reason not. But if blue does happen to get in, everybody's just going to say, F it. They're going to start spending their money because they're tired of waiting. They're going to do it anyways.
I've heard that's what
I
I've
think
heard.
Either way. Now, honestly, red, if it happens red, it's going to be a lot better, a whole lot better. But if blue gets in, we're still going to have a little bit of a push.
You mean a blue
I had a
stays in?
conversation with a gentleman the other day, and that's basically what he told me is like it doesn't matter who's gonna get in at this point. These large companies and these rich folks been holding on to their money. They're not gonna be wanting to hold on to it another 4 years. They're just gonna go ahead and just well, it is what it is. We're just gonna have to deal with it, and irregardless of who gets into office. But we all know who we want there. And we all know why we want him there. So,
all right. So Brian just said, send him an email and start the conversation. He isn't like Swift or JB. You will call today and start on Monday. So Brian, just give us a contact information, whether it's a website or an email or whatever, and country can get a hold of him.
And Brian, I'm not that kind of guy either. I take a long time to make a decision. I won't just say, okay, sounds good, I'll be there tomorrow. Nope. It's going to be a long conversation before it took me 4 months before I started my CDL school. I started calling. Once I made the decision I was going to get my CDL and go trucking, I started calling trucking companies. I probably talked to 50 of them before I started CDL school, and continued multiple conversations with a bunch of them during CDL school. When I'm in CDL school and someone's driving, I'm getting phone calls in the back. My instructor's like, "Who was that?" I'm like, "Oh, CFI." So what they offer you? I was like, 32 cents. He went, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, no thanks." Click. And then that's just what. And by the time I was done with CDL school, I chose Schneider. And I've been with him ever since. So it takes me a while to make a decision.
Austin, if you haven't noticed, we're all type A personalities, so you gotta step up to the game if you want to get a conversation here.
Austin, just tell James to shut up. He talks too much.
Speaking of which, did you guys hear?
Did
you guys hear that a certain Chicago-based company has opened another terminal?
I'm tired of hearing certain Chicago-based super ego people. Super ego. I will call them all out.
It's not my channel, so I got to tiptoe around.
James ain't shy. James is not shy. He's straightforward to the point.
In that case, y'all heard that super ego then opened up a terminal down here in Florida?
No. Did not know that, and I live in Florida.
Yep, apparently all the abandoned trucks went down to Florida, and they've been trying to, they hired nothing but Florida drivers. So I guess they had to open up a shop down. It cost too much for them to take them back up to Chicago.
Yeah, it's cheaper to pay rent.
That's funny. Can you imagine how many trucks will be piggybacked up? Most of them live in Florida, be piggybacked up to Chicago.
And nobody has to. Now nobody has to get a plane ticket to go up to Chicago. They just go right here. Just car ride over to Florida. And
speaking of which, I had a friend of mine that worked for Super Ego, and all he did was go and repossess trucks, and he was constantly going everywhere and he had extra key. All he did, put the key in the ignition and drive off. And he said there was so much trash in half these trucks. And you and I, all of us, we know the type of drivers that they hire aren't the cleanliness. The cleanliness is, I'm trying to remember. Cleanliness. I'm trying to say here. They're not they're not the cleanest drivers either. And just use your imagination. Let's just put it that way. He was telling me about some of those things, but
I know if a company is gonna hire you and bring you on and can't even situate you in a hotel and you have to go sleep in one of their trucks, big red flag.
Yeah,
big red flag.
Yep, I agree with you. I agree with you there.
I like that, Brian. I mean, I like that. If I'm going to investigate you and fill you out, you should do the same thing to me, because it's your business after all. You want to protect it.
Talk about him flying you out or going to take you out to dinner and stuff.
Yeah, well, just being thorough enough to meet the person that's talking about partnering up. Let's get a feeling about this guy or
Listen,
this woman
the man
or whoever.
has to protect his MC, man. You got to do what you got to do. You're a small
can't
company.
Just bring,
you
and that's what
anybody
happened
and
to
everybody on there.
And that's what happened to F2F safety score. Is they were bringing anybody in who wanted to be in, and they have since over the past year or so I've heard they're trying to correct it while they're making it, which is why they went to a 2-year minimum required experience to come to them now. But they were bringing everybody in, and their safety score went kaput, which is why there's a lot of brokers that will not work with them because of their score. I don't know how long it takes for a score to recover from bad elements, but there's still the best way to F2F, which is one of the reasons I didn't go over there, is because I got a buddy, a follower.
Same thing for me too, because they were one of those companies that I was getting ready to go on over to if I didn't get this situation worked out for me. So
I got a buddy, he's a subscriber turned friend. He went to F2F a little over a month ago after being told no on his first 5 broker attempts. He called Schneider back, said, "Hey, can I come back?" After 3 days, they wanted to take you to come back. They flipped the switch. He was back the next week. So after 5 no's, he's like, "Nope, this ain't for me."
Hey, James.
I just feel like anywhere else besides Schneider is a good fit for you.
You had mentioned a few videos back or something that you was going to have Richie Rich on to ask questions about Prime. Was there any questions you wanted to ask about Prime while I'm here? I was there for 4 years.
I was just going to talk to him about Swift.
Oh, I got some questions for you.
Swift.
How do you feel about the whole camera situation with the forcing the owner operators to get those inward facing cameras?
From what I understand, the owner operators, the true owner operators, the people that are on the A fleet, those are people who run their own numbers. The cameras don't affect them at all.
Right.
The lease operators.
I heard Rob Lowe say that if you're running under his DOT number, you're getting.
If you're running under his DOT number, then yes, you have to have the camera. But on the true owner operators do not. And for me, I wouldn't have cared either way. It doesn't matter. From when they first started talking about it, there was a lot of questions, but there's been so much information come out on them that most of the drivers that are using them now don't even know that they're there. And the camera cuts off after 3 minutes when the truck turns off. So it wouldn't have been a problem for me. My problem was sitting around in the long wait times and the long times on the loads.
Are the rates pretty good over there, all things considered?
The rates wasn't the issue when I left. The rates were still over $2 a mile coming to the truck. The problem is you might pick up a load that has 700 miles on it, but it's got 3 days to deliver it.
Oh, no.
Or you get delivered like early in the morning, 5, 6 in the morning, and you might not get your next load until midday, and that load don't pick up till the next day. So with you not having any control over what you're getting what you're booking, it just the rates were good. It's just the in between times is what killed you, where you wasn't getting enough loads to get the revenue.
And there were no low. There's no load boards over there.
No,
right?
No load boards. You're all dispatched. And last year, all the way up until the beginning of this year, I could talk to my fleet manager there. And if we were going to a certain area, I could talk to him, "Hey, what do we got coming out of that area?" And he would tell me, give me an idea what we were going to get coming out of that area. Obviously, he wasn't saying that I was going to get whatever loads we were talking about, but I'd have an idea. And before I left, he wouldn't even talk to me about the areas we was going in. His answer was always, "We'll have to wait to see what sales gives us." So, I think Prime lost some customers because they wouldn't go down on the prices the way customers wanted them to. And they stood their ground on that, and that's where they lost some volume. the rates that while I was there, the rates were fine. The volume wasn't there. You wasn't dropping off and picking up the same day. You was typically having to wait another day, and then the loads that you did get, usually they had an extra day on.
So why did what was your reason, or why did you decide to leave Schneider Prime and came over to where you are now?
Well, I chose JB Hunt because of the load board. I didn't know as much then as I do now about the load board and how it's kind of set up with JB Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
But I chose JB Hunt for the load board, and that would get me started to see how well I did doing it on my own. And now with Chris and James helping all, it's great over here. My revenue's going up, and the load that I'm able to see is better now. So,
okay.
Did you see that comment from Gerard there, Country?
That's what the pound was for. That was a debt. That was for you, Gerard. That was for you, Gerard.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions there, Austin. It's just that we were wondering about Richie Rich because he was at Swift and he's done 3 or 4 videos since he's been at Swift right now, and even he says that it's not that Swift's a bad company, it's just they control too much over there,
Yep.
And even he said, and it was a comment that we had made a long time ago, and I think Chris made this comment a long time ago, Poppy, that is, that magic number, 22 to 2,400 miles a week. And it was always, you could never get, that's not good enough. And that's the magic number where they wanted every driver to be right there at that number, which is literally, 1,200 to 1,500 a week. And that's the controlling
and
part.
There's been plenty of times where I've actually did 3,400 miles when I was at Swift, and you could actually make some decent money if it was that consistent. But I feel like when you feel, for some reason, for me, it's like when I feel like I'm ready to just give them back their truck, all of a sudden I'm getting 3,000 miles this week, 3,000 miles the next week, and then 3,000 miles the week after that, and then boom, straight back down to 1,500, 2,200 miles a week. And it's like, damn, all that money that I was making, I'm able to, it's like you're able to catch up to what you got going on. And then as soon as you're say, okay, I can start seriously saving some money, then boom, it just,
so that was another
right
problem
back down
with
2,200 miles. And it was really annoying at the fact. And also just to mention, like, if you end up in a certain area in the Carolinas, it becomes like a first come first serve type situation. Best you believe those company drivers are getting served first.
Absolutely. What was you going to say, Austin?
That was another thing with Prime. It felt like they were limiting you up to about 4,000, 4,500 a week, capping you out at that just to make sure that they had enough loads for everybody. That's what it felt like to me. There was weeks at Prime before this big freight recession. Even last year, there was some weeks with Prime where I was bringing home 3,000, 3,500 a week to my bank account after expenses, after the truck payment, after all that, 3,000, 3,500 a week. But as it went later on into last year and then into this year, it was like they were holding you at about 4,500 a week. That way you was still making money and everybody else was. But I'm not out here to make sure everybody else makes money. I'm out here to make my money.
And I feel like
they had that big boom. You remember
we live in a capitalist society. I mean, if you're doing you're not a company driver, you're an owner operator. So I'm not out here worrying about everybody else getting it. If I'm here and I'm available to get it, why do I have to wait until old boy come 500 miles up the road so he can get a turn?
So what do you say, Country?
But you got to look at how that happened with Prime towards the end of the year last year. That big boom of all these Prime drivers. Hell, you see them on YouTube. All these brand new Prime YouTubers over the past 8 months.
But you know what?
Getting their brand new trucks.
YouTubers that are at Prime. You know that?
And they've all been there. Hell, Slime Pack's probably the biggest one. She's the biggest one over the last year or so.
Oh, she's my favorite. She's my favorite Prime driver, boy.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
she does a good job. I like her camera.
I don't watch her a lot, but I see her on my feed. I see her titles, and her titles as of late, like you were just talking about, Austin, is how the numbers have went down over the past end of the year of last year and going into this year because this influx of drivers are out there. They don't have enough to go around. Now they don't care about individual numbers from you guys. They just know they got all these truck payments coming in now, right?
Yeah.
They got all these truck payments, so they're making bukus of money. And I just did a video about the difference between a lease operator, an independent contractor, and an owner operator. And I think Hirschbach was my biggest example in that video. I think is the biggest ripoff of a lease operator there is. You can't choose your own truck. You're not getting a brand new truck. And the longer the trip is, the less you get paid. You know, and their big selling thing.
Yeah, that's the same thing over at Swift. The longer the trip, the less rate per mile you get. That mileage band thing is just it's a trip for me because in the beginning I didn't even understand it, and after a while I just gave up trying to understand
hustle your ass off more than what we do to get the miles. That's the killer out of it.
But as a lease operator, I think even your first term at Prime, you don't have an option to own that truck. You got to do a 2-year completion, and then your next one you can buy.
No. At Prime,
it's 3 months.
You have to be leasing for a minimum of 3 months.
Yeah.
At that point, you can go ahead and order you a truck, whether it be a regular lease truck or a lease purchase truck. If you do a lease purchase truck, you have to pay down, I think it's $5,000. It's a total of $14,000 down. And you have to put $5,000 of it down to order the truck, and then the other part of that has to be paid before or when the truck comes in. And then if you want any extras on the truck, like if you want to change stuff out on it, you can do that, but you have to pay for it up front. But if you've been leasing for a year, they'll take that amount for any extras you get and split it up into 10 payments. And then when you lease the truck, you have the option of having a 3-year lease or a 4-year lease. And at the end of that lease, you pay $100, which basically is the cost to transfer the title over to you. And you get the title in hand. You'll go into Springfield, they'll route you in, and the $100 will already be paid. They'll take it out of your settlement, and then they'll present you with your title and all that.
Do they let if it would is it an option for the lease operators at Prime to lease their trucks elsewhere if they so choose to do that?
If you're doing a lease purchase, I've heard that you can take your truck somewhere else. They make it very difficult. But if you're doing a standard lease, unless it's somewhere that will pay them first before you get paid, there's no chance. So I'd asked that question before I went to JB Hunt. I talked to the recruiter, and they found out for sure that I couldn't bring my Prime truck over to there because they wasn't set up to pay Prime before they paid me. They were only set up with SFI to do that.
So you had Brian, the option of possibly bringing your Prime truck? Is that what you're saying, or you didn't?
I'd asked about bringing it, but I didn't bring it because Prime wouldn't have allowed it. I never asked Prime. According to the recruiting department at JB Hunt, they said since they don't pay Prime out like they do SFI, that Prime wouldn't let me bring it there.
Huh. I mean, what's Prime's rules on that? Because, I mean, honestly, you probably could have brought your truck over because...
First of all, what type of lease was you on? Was you on a lease purchase or was you just on a lease?
I was a standard lease.
Oh, that's why right there then.
Yeah.
That's why then. Yeah.
So why choose the standard lease instead of doing a lease purchase?
Well, they make you for the first 3 months. You don't have a choice. And then, like you said, with the other lease, you got to put $14,000 down.
But how long were you there?
I was there for almost 4 years. So if I'd done a lease purchase, and that's another thing, for every year that you lease with Prime, they take $1,000 off the down payment. So had I done a lease purchase and never came to JB Hunt, then I would have had $4,000 off the 14,000 down, so I'd only had to pay 10,000.
Okay, so let me ask you this: at the 3-month mark, when you chose to continue leasing versus lease purchasing, why did you continue a standard lease versus putting that money towards owning a truck?
Well, when I first upgraded, I didn't get my CDL at Prime, but I had to do their TNT training. So after I went out with a trainer and I upgraded, I ended up taking over my trainer's truck because he left Prime. So I ended up taking over his lease, basically. And I ran that lease out and I ended up getting a lease completion bonus off that. And I took a month and a half off. And when I came back, I just did another regular lease. And the main reason was I didn't have the money to put down. I didn't save the money to put down. It's a better term. I blew the money. So, but if you was going to do a lease purchase, from everything that I've looked at through other companies and all that, including SFI, Prime is a better choice for a lease purchase because you're paying your down payment and it's not like the balloon payment that you have at SFI at the end. Like on the truck I've got now, the balloon payment at the end, if I wanted to pay this truck off, is $42,000.
Yeah.
Now, granted, $228 a week is going into that maintenance fund, which is going to equal about $30,000 at the end of the 2.5 year the lease is on this truck. So I would really only be coming up with about 10,000.
Well, that's if you don't have to, but that's if you don't use any maintenance money during that time.
If you don't use any maintenance money, correct.
But here's the thing. I guess when you mentioned how the lease purchase thing worked through Prime, which you gave me information I didn't know, I was thinking myself, that sounds like a pretty damn good lease program. The problem with that is you got to have that vampire schedule and all hours of the night delivery, and it's reefer only. And
that reefer,
and that's the reason I didn't. That's one of the reasons I didn't choose Prime in the beginning, because
it's either reefer or flatbed. That's your choice.
I'm a daytime driver, period. I'm not going to be doing no 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. delivery. It's not happening.
Solar powered freight shaker.
There we go. Solar powered freight shaker. That's right. If the sun ain't rising, I ain't driving.
I am with you 100% on that, brother, because I had to get up at 1 o'clock this morning to go deliver this load. And let me tell you something, man. I did it, but I don't want to make it a habit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Brian, you're right. Daily rate is a big deal. And that's what I look at currently. That's what I have been looking at here lately. Trying to get to my, trying to do my best on the board that I got. But again, I mean, for me, I think it would be great to be able to get into a spot market, which I know is rough, but I won't feel like I'm limited to certain regions. I can, you know what I mean? And I can negotiate rates. But at the same time, I'd have to get rid of the SFI truck to do that.
We try to shoot for $1,000 a day here. Don't always hit it, but that's what we shoot for. It's about $1,000 a day.
Yeah. If you're crunched
down. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, the way y'all run that have to work. Since I'm working recaps and 7, 8, I'm doing 8-day weeks pretty much. I shoot for like 7.
I mean, there's another option. You could do what KO did. He saved up and got him a monthly truck, and
Yeah, and KO and I talk often. We talk often, and when we talk about random shit. We talk for an hour and a half. Hell, yesterday talked about an hour and a half just bullshitting.
A lot of people give Prime crap about their truck payment, but you're paying that on a purchase of a truck. You're paying that 1,000 or whatever it is a week for that purchase, but you're only paying that for 3 years or 4 years, depending on how you have it set up. Yep. And at the end of that time, if you ran that truck as a solo driver, you've only put on about 300 to 400,000 miles, and you still got 2 years of warranty left after you pay off the truck.
I'm actually working on.
It's an accelerated program.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
That's exactly what. I'm working on a video specifically about SFI, which I've got a few creators that are going to be sending me their little, not testimonial, but a little clip that I've asked them, like a 2-minute clip, and they answer one question. They know what the question is. They're going to send me some clips, and I'm going to piece it together. I've been working on this video. I've had this video idea, and I got my notepad. I've got notes set up, have this video structured and educational, good or bad, from these testimonials, we'll call them. I want good or bad. I'm trying to put a video together to show everybody exactly what it's like with SFI, the true numbers for everybody, not even true numbers, just exactly what it's like. Why everybody bitches, only thing people bitch about SFI is that balloon payment at the end. They all bitch about that. They don't understand, like 18 just said, we've all mentioned many times, it's an accelerated path to ownership. That's why it's so big. But I'm working on a video.
And on top of that,
they
do give you options after your 3 year.
Yeah.
You do have that. They do give you an option for the extra year. I've even heard from other drivers that, hey, halfway through your payments, you could just call your bank and get that paid off, turn that into a monthly thing. There's options. After a little while, there's options.
So there's two more.
So it's just that it's not just that you got to stick with SFI the whole time. But if your credit's good enough, you can go get the money and pay off the truck early.
But look at it this way: you can also, as soon as 18 months, you can have that truck paid off. You got somebody you want to team with, 18 months. 18 months, that truck is yours. Owned,
yeah, you can double the payments.
Done.
Yeah, do that.
So, go ahead and tell us what you were saying about KO. You said you and him talk a lot. What about his truck? What was you going to say?
Well, not about his truck. It's just I've got ideas and plans in the future that I told him we were going to have a discussion about at one point, and he's like, "Let me know when you're ready." So he knows, but we got ideas for the future. I just need to get myself in a position to where I can make it. He's already in the position, but he's been doing this 10 years, right? So I've been out here 2. I'm not quite there yet, but once I do, y'all, everybody will see something happen.
Hey, James, you see the comment from Brian Jess about $67,000 truck?
Yeah,
from Lone Mountain. That's a pretty good deal too.
Yeah, Lone Mountain's
Lone Mountain's
pretty easy to get a truck as well too. I mean, you got 10 grand in your bank account. That's basically half of that is your down payment. The other half is like a maintenance assurance for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all you do, you go there, you pick out your truck, you go there, they let you do whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that the truck is the way that you want it to be done. You sign your papers, and it's a monthly thing. It's not a weekly thing. And you also have, like, again, that's another option. That's another way to go. You can pay off that truck as early. Another prime driver, I don't know if you guys ever heard about him, Zeke Dog. He used to be a flatbed driver at Prime. He came on over to Landstar and got a truck from Low Mountain. How good is he doing in this terrible market? This man has thrown vinyls on his truck. He's thrown chrome on the truck. He already done maxed out the truck. And
let me give you a little bit. Let me give you a little bit on that. Okay, don't praise Landstar for all that. Not totally.
Well, I'm not saying 100%. I mean, he got his views too. You know, he got his YouTube.
No. He's making money, yes, or otherwise he wouldn't be doing it for free. So obviously he's making some money. But he's also specifically said every single time he spends money on the truck, y'all got to remember, guys, I'm a retired Army vet. I got a pension. I don't live solely off trucking, okay? Okay? Let's not say he's making all that with Landstar. Zeke's doing great. I like Zeke. I watch him all the time. So
but what I was saying that, you know, in this market, if you're a vet, you got an extra check on the side, it doesn't matter. In this market, he's able to customize his truck in such a way that usually that's what people were doing when we had COVID rates. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing right now.
He calls trucking his chrome, vinyl, and vacation money. It's his fun money.
and he's always going on vacation. He's always riding motorcycles too. So you know, if it's working for him, it works for him. You know.
Hey, I mean, but he's worked that life. He's worked. He made those decisions earlier in life to where he's in that position now. And you know, I'm 47, and somewhere along the line, I didn't make those right choices because I'm still grinding my ass out, right? So, but you know what? You can't knock anybody for that. I just want to make sure the information is clear.
We've all had our own roads that we had to tread on. So not everybody is always the same.
I just like to be clear, just because apparently Jeter thinks we all talk a real shit. I want him to clean up our shit for us. Come on, Jeter. Tell us how. Come on.
No, he means
Jeter.
that we're talking real shit, that we're doing good.
Okay, so that wasn't bad shit. Okay, well then if that's the case, then I misunderstood the text. Oh, that's good shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, you can't read. That's why you can't read text, right? You can't read tone from text anyway.
Brian says Low Mountain wants to see double the down payment in the bank with a monthly payment. So basically, if you put 5,000 down, they want 10,000 in your bank.
Yeah, they want to see that you have 10. You know what? At the end of the day, whether you're buying a new truck, a used truck, or whether you're getting your truck from a dealership or you're getting the truck from a mega carrier, at least you're trying to do something to better your situation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly
because
right.
I've heard a lot of people complain and say, "Oh, why would you ever lease a truck from SFI? Payments are high.
Yeah.
Oh, this and that, XYZ. Why don't you just get the money and go to a dealership?" Not everybody can afford to go to a dealership, and even when you do go to a
not everybody's
dealership,
got the credit for it.
You don't have the credit, you don't have the money. But then one thing that I do realize is when you get a truck from, like, say, SFI or Swift or anything, you get an added you get an added layer of safety protections when you get their trucks on top of the warranties that you already getting, versus just going out to the dealership and just buying a brand new truck. Which who has money for a brand new truck? What are they asking for, like $60,000-$70,000 down nowadays with a 19-20% interest rate?
Yeah.
All you're getting is just that warranty. Yes, you're getting that monthly payment, which helps out in a lot. But again, some of these programs that we're in are an accelerated program for a reason. It's there to get you quicker to that spot instead of taking the long way there with some added protection.
We're all doing the same thing. We just have different avenues and different paths that we take to get to that point. You know,
and some people are good with some people are good with just getting a used truck. Problem that I see with used truck, if you're not mechanically inclined, you're really just waiting for later on. It's like you're gonna deal with the problems now or deal with the problems later. You get what I'm saying? And then you're coming out of pocket for a used truck. A lot of people is not gonna do. Not a lot of people are gonna not spend are going to be spending money on light work instead of just watching a YouTube video on how to change shocks. Just watch my channel, you'll see me doing that. But either way, shameless plug. But
and another thing people don't consider today is these trucks are not made the way they used to be made. No. If you don't do an accelerated program and get this truck paid off early, where you still got warranty on it, after about 600, 700,000 miles, you start getting some major costs to keep the truck going. Now,
and there's
like
a caveat
you,
with
Life
that.
on 18,
like,
you can do a lot of that stuff yourself. Right. But like me, I ain't turning no wrenches. I don't know how. I'm gonna break something if I start turning wrenches.
Listen, I learned by trial and error. That's just how I get it done. But just to hop on that point that you just made there, I feel like these trucks are plastic trucks. I get that, right? But if you take care of your unit, you take care of your truck, you know what the issues with your trucks are, you take care of them at a proper time, you wouldn't have a problem with it reaching 7, 8, 900,000 miles. I see people talk about it all the time on the Facebooks about how many miles they get on their truck, but that all comes down to how you take care of your truck as well too.
And I agree with you on the mechanical part, but there's so much electronic in the truck today than there was 10 even just 10 years ago. There's so much more electronical stuff.
That's why you don't get an international.
But that stuff is expensive to repair too. All the electronic crap.
Electrical period is a pain in the ass for sure. Anything electrical sucks. And Brian, I kind of got a plan for possibly doing that. Because I've seen that for a while. I mean, $30K down at Lone Mountain for $29.95 a month for a 2025 Kenworth. I got.
Yeah, I would.
Have you seen the 2025?
I love the new T680s. They look so nice.
Don't they? Right?
They look so. Hey, you see one hook up to a flatbed? That thing looks like.
It's a beautiful truck, man.
It is a good looking truck. But yeah, I get a used one. If I ever had to get a second truck, or if I had to get another truck, if I ever decided that I want to go to a monthly thing and save up enough money, I would definitely get me a T680. But I want it spec'd right too. You gotta have the Cummins, and they gotta have windows on the back. Even though I don't never look out of them, I still need my windows, man. The truck looks weird with no windows.
What I liked about the 2024 Cascadia is, one, it had mirrors. You don't have to. It has the side windows. You didn't have to get a premium for it.
Yes, I have side windows on, and I got this nice little door right here. It's so cool, you know.
And you know that trim below the front bumper on the 23 and the 25. It's not on the 24.
I have a 24, so yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so
I don't know. Y'all need to stop tripping on my premium truck over here.
I hated that trim for one. The 2024, they didn't put it on there, which I loved.
What trim are you talking about?
And the best part about it,
there's what's it called, man?
Is that little grandpa beard thing on the bottom? That I know what you're talking about.
It goes up under the bumper. It goes about that far from the ground. The aerodynamic.
Oh, the aerodynamic shit.
Yeah, they used to come on the 18s and the 19s and the 20s. They took them off.
They took them off on
because
the 24.
too many people keep breaking.
You hit a speed bump or something, and they break. And so anyway, they took them out. They didn't put them on the 24, but they put them back on the 25. So I didn't like that to begin with. I got speaking of the windows in the sleeper, I got them, but I have my vinyl sheets over them. I've never taken them off. So.
Me neither. I just like the fact that I have them. And I have the option to look. I have the option to look out. I have the option to open the door. I don't like, if I'm hearing some weird stuff, I don't gotta open up the front. I could just peek out the window. I gotta be obvious with it and everything. And it works. It works like
anything
that,
over mine. My windows are always, I don't ever open the windows, but I never have covers on them.
And you know what the best part about my truck is? I ain't got no chrome on it.
I was trying to buy chrome.
I don't want no chrome. I like my truck is just black. It's black on black on black.
I didn't want chrome because I was totally against it. I was like, chrome's too hard to take care of. I was like, I don't want that shit. But now
it looks cheesy because it's not real chrome. It's just ABS plastic.
Stop it. Now I'm like, I want my chrome grill. I want my chrome mirrors. I want my chrome whatever else decide I put on here. I am putting a whole rear panel on this truck.
This is one of the things I like about my truck right here. I'm in my driver's seat, and if I need something to drink, I just open up my little cooler right here.
Where's your fridge?
When I want my dinner, I've got my frozen side of my cooler right here.
Yeah, but that's.
But you see, that took up too much space. You know what I did?
Where's your fridge?
Big old fridge with a big old freezer at the top and a regular fridge on the bottom.
Austin,
there's my refrigerator. It's got stuff in it too.
It's too small, man. The first thing I did when I got home, when I got my truck, first thing I did when I got home was rip that stupid fridge out and put this nice big boy in here.
Yeah,
let me see your fridge. Let me see your fridge.
Hold on, let me see.
He's got a dorm style. Probably got a 2-door, full 4-door.
Yeah, that's what I got. The little refrigerator right here.
Now, hang on a second. Now, Austin, what did you pay for your cooler? $300?
I got it off Amazon.
Okay, now
see your cooler, Austin.
Okay, hang on. See that refrigerator beside? Show him your refrigerator again. There, 18.
Oh, my little Galans from.
Just show him your refrigerator. See how much? You know how much that costs, Austin?
That's about $100 at Walmart.
And you know how long this thing has lasted me, man?
Yeah,
it's like $200 for this, and it's been. I've had them in all my trucks. I've had this refrigerator in all my trucks throughout the years, and it still works.
Let's see yours. I want to see your little fridge and freezer thing that you got.
Hold on.
That you bought.
Yeah, Brian, I kind of agree. It's 100% a tool, but I've recently wanted to customize it. Since this is my tool, this is my home. I'm just going to put. I just started putting money into it.
And then I've got this little thing Velcroed to the top to hold stuff.
Okay.
And this front side here I got it set as a refrigerator.
It has a light inside of it. That's pretty
And this back side is set as a freezer.
Ah.
And that's kind of the room in between my seat in there, and I can walk through here without any problem for the most part. It sits right here, so it makes it easier for me to get my drinks because it's just right here beside my seat right here.
What's it called? What is it called?
Set Point on Amazon.
I have thought about getting one of those just because I did not want to take out this factory installed refrigerator. Why? Is because I like
there's
the
the dual zone
I like
where
the
you
top
can
shelf.
set it for refrigerator.
Yeah, I debated. I just ended up just putting the top shelf up there and just throw crap in there instead.
Yeah, but
it's just sitting on top of the fridge.
But my head is right here where the refrigerator. That's where I sleep with my head on that end, and I have my tablet in there. I have my CPAP machine on there, and it stays there because that top shelf's got like kind of a bowl. It keeps things in there.
Oh, you see, this is my air fryer. It doesn't move while I'm driving.
It doesn't, huh?
It does not move. The rubber's on top of it. It doesn't move. It doesn't move while I'm driving.
Well, I mean, I'm still debating.
So I got air fryer right here, and then I have another air fryer / microwave / bacon oven right up here because I cook in my truck. That's how I try to save as much money as I can.
And since I do cook in my truck, I keep arguing with myself to go ahead and buy that. So I have a big enough freezer to where I can buy bulk meats, right? Because I like high protein, low carb. High protein keto? So I can have a lot of meat in there. Right now, with this daggone factory fridge, you can barely get 4 hamburger patties in that son bitch.
Life on 18, how hard was it to take that factory fridge out? What do you have to do it?
I just watched a couple of like with everything in life. I watch a couple of YouTube videos and then I just
YouTube University. That's what KO and I call it. YouTube University.
I have a bachelor's. I have a doctorate's degree in YouTubeism. So I have a jack of all trades and a master of none. If I watch it enough times, I will learn how to do something.
You know,
not
the
perfectly,
rest of that
but I will
line.
know how to do it.
But
so let me answer a couple of these things here. So Brian Jess says he ain't paying for no chrome, no lights, no nothing except maintenance. Truck as a tool for business. So with that being said, Brian, me and Country do something a little bit different than a lot of drivers. I would agree with you to a sense, but since Country doesn't do as much as I do, but I do a little recruiting, so I need a tool that is visually pleasing. So I went ahead and bought some chrome not hubcaps, but the hub covers. I'm actually getting my my logos put on my truck here, hopefully next week. I know Country did that
done
too.
Yet.
Not yet. I'm trying to get to Springfield to get it done, but I'm having the people at Prime do it for me. But we have to, with me doing recruiting the way that I'm doing, I got to have a tool that's visually pleasing to kind of attract people. I have my YouTube channel on the side of the truck, and I know Country does too because of what we do.
I had mine done. Hell, I left Green Bay on a Wednesday, and Thursday I was in Oak Village, Illinois, getting my graphics put on before my first load.
Yeah. Well, that's my problem. That's my thing too. And Austin, you'll know this, but Stripes and stuff is the ones that's doing my decals here next week.
The thing about it, I don't really like that statement that it's just a tool, because I mean, tools.
It is your home on wheels.
I mean, tools break. I get it, but this is more than just a tool. It's part of your livelihood. It's basically an extra arm for you. If it don't work, you ain't making no money. So you have to think about it as more as that redheaded stepchild that you got.
A tool doesn't have to be pretty, but I've just started putting money into it. And I actually, let me rephrase that. I've started to want to put money in it. All I've gotten was hub covers over the past 3 weeks, and I was going to spend a bunch of money while I was here in Florida at the 75 Chrome Shop in Rainey's, putting the chrome mirrors and the grill and all that shit on, but nobody had them in stock, so I didn't have to spend that money.
Oh, you should have went up to Ocala. There's another chrome shop up there.
Rainey's.
Rainey's.
Yep. I went there too. I left 75 and went up there. Well, I left 75 Chrome Shop, went next door to the Pilot, and there's a a wheel polishing little station there. They did a
Oh
great
man,
job on
those
my
people are
wheels.
pretty. Those people are pretty decent, pretty cool. When I
Yeah,
had my Swift truck, I had my wheels polished.
yeah,
Polished
I
over
paid
there.
I
So
paid it. They did all my wheels and both side panels for $300. So
dang,
I heard that was
they got
I had.
me. Shoot.
I mean, they like $40 a wheel and $50 a side, which would have been $340. She said we'll do it all for $300. I'm like, cool, let's do it. I wasn't sure if that was a good price or not, but my YouTube video today that went live, everybody's like, yeah, that's a good price. You didn't get
I
ripped
think I
off. I'm like,
paid a
well,
little
cool.
bit more than $300 to get my wheels, and I only did was the drives. But
Hey,
Yeah,
Losh, I have a question about the low board at Landstar.
yep. What's up?
It seems like in the past, probably a couple of years ago, I'd seen somebody on YouTube.
Oh snap! Mother truckers in the building. Just want to shout them
Mother
out real
trucker.
quick.
Is there a way through y'all's load board where you can set a route where you're leaving the house and you're going to be gone like 10 days, and then it'll
Yes,
start, it will do that, won't it?
we
That's
have
pretty
different.
neat.
See the different that we have. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see it. I got too much flashes on here, but this is my Landstar folder here. We got like different apps, different thing. This is the main the Landstar one is our main app we use to book our loads from. But there is one called the Maximizer, and the way the Maximizer is set up, you can set it up from point A to whatever point B, or you could do a round trip, and it's AI stuff built into it where it'll
Mhm.
build loads for you and basically do a round trip for you. Now the loads, they're not all paying $2 or whatever, but if you put in, say you want to average $2.50, it'll do all its little fancy magic and bring it up to you, and all you gotta do is just call the agents for all of those and book them. The problem with
Hang on.
Maximizer and why I don't use it is because stuff get canceled all the time.
Hang on one
So you
second.
be
Hey,
halfway through the trip and then it gets canceled, and now you're running around with like
hang
a
on one
chicken with your
second
head cut
there,
off.
18. I just want to say what up, Alex, before he heads out. Alex, thanks for coming through, brother.
Yes,
Appreciate seeing
sir.
you.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your
No,
channel
I
a
met
lot,
him
Alex.
once. I met him once at the Florida trucking truck show down
He's
in
actually
down
moving
in
to
Fort
Florida.
Lauderdale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
actually
moving
moving to
to
Florida now. So
Texas.
yeah, so
But
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I've met
Flint,
him down there.
Texas.
He's pretty cool dude. Awesome to have
I've
conversations with.
actually,
So
me and Trucker Todd met him 2 years ago at the truck show there in Louisville, and I've actually got a picture with him somewhere on my phone.
Oh, bless
Yeah.
That's so
bless your little
sweet.
heart.
He probably don't remember me, but he was actually at the Ambest booth, excuse me, and he was all over the Black and Gold smoking a bandit Trans Am, if he remembers that. But me and Trucker Todd walked up to him, shook his hand, and got pictures of him.
yeah,
But
he's a pretty chill dude, man. I know I've had I think it was after when I did have a conversation. This was after he did that interview with the Swift
Swift,
with the big
yeah,
wigs at Swift,
that
and
was a good
I've
one.
had conversations about him with that stuff. So yeah, I'm not
He says he remembers, I guess. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
that was
pretty
good
cool
times,
dude.
man. That was good times. We'll be at the truck show next year. I'm pretty sure all of us will be there. I'm sure you will
That's
be
the
too
goal.
on
That's the
some
plan,
basis.
man. That's the
Yep.
goal. That's the plan. Oh, but yeah, back to you, Austin. We do have like I said, the Maximizer. It's AI generated. It'll help you if you want to do round trips. It'll help you do that. The only reason why I don't use it is because, like I said, sometimes the load gets canceled, and now you got to figure out how to connect that load that you're trying to get to get back to where you got to get to. You know, that's the only thing. But other than that, the one thing I do like about Landstar, it's a condensed version of the spot market. That's the best way that I can describe it.
One thing I don't like about our load board at JB Hunt is after you view the load where it's showing you your line haul and your fuel surcharge, once you book it, if you didn't take a screenshot of that or
Yeah.
you didn't write it down or something, then you lose that information. And I hate that because I put that information into a separate app I use that tracks all my expenses and loads and all that.
No, well, yeah, with the Landstar app, everything is all my loads are sitting right here. All the loads I've
Hey,
ever done, they're
Alex,
all
we'll see
sitting
you
right
later,
here, so
buddy.
I
Have
can
a
just
good
go
one,
by
man.
and
We will
just
see you
take
at
a
the
look
truck show.
and see that. So,
That's pretty cool that he showed up to this little small YouTube channel.
Yeah.
James, you're going places, man. Fly Rabbit YouTube channel is going places, man.
Hey, buddy. Anyway,
everybody knows
go,
rabbits fly. The rabbit is fly, baby, fly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So what's that? The Louisville, the next big one, Louisville, the Mats.
It's
What's that? You say
usually the
April, May.
Last weekend of March is when it usually
March.
is. Yeah, last
I think
weekend of
we've
March.
all had plans to go to the Mats that we never ended up going. I think that's around the time when we all went and got trucks from SFI or something.
Yeah,
And it's like, hey, we got to go make some money
next year,
first.
man. Well, that's what happened. We all got our trucks this year right around that time, but we're definitely going this year.
Let's say goodnight to Brian. He's heading out. Brian, hey, yeah.
Good night,
so if you
Brian,
get that,
man.
if you get that,
Brian,
if you get that information over to,
have a good night. Be
if you
safe.
get that information to James, he'll send it to me. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much.
I'll get it over to him, Brian, if you give me a call tomorrow. I'll be driving tomorrow afternoon all day.
Shoot him a text so he can easier forward. Email address would probably be preferred, and go from there.
Guys, we've been on here for 2.5 hours. We still got 13 people in here watching. Which
really, they're watching. They're watching.
I'm telling you, I've told you in private conversation. Winged streams versus structured streams go better because you never know where it's going to go.
13 people. That's one more than 12. So I think we're doing pretty good here. You know,
just hit the live button.
Does anybody have any questions about anything? I mean, we're all just sitting here jabbering away. Anybody got any questions or anything like that we can answer?
That's the thing about a stream like this. When we're jabbering away, we've every time a question came through, we've responded to it one way or the other. So that's why I think a structured stream, it feels good to have a structure, but oftentimes the better ones are not structured.
That's why I try to watch the comments as we go along to see if anybody says anything.
Yeah. But I will say, like last year's Mats, I was wanting to go, but I was at the time I only had my truck for like 6 weeks, and that was just too soon to take a week off or 4 days off.
Yeah.
So, but
that was pretty much the same thing for us as well too. It's like, damn, we just got a truck. Let's just go next year.
Me up to date with that because I've never been to a truck show.
You'll go.
Years I've been out, I've never been to one.
Hey, speaking of which, there, Austin. Next week, sometime, I don't know what day, probably Monday or Tuesday. The 11 or 12 of us that do what we're doing, we're going to have a Zoom call. We're all going to have a Zoom call, and we're all going to talk to each other and kind of meet each other. And we'll go over the truck show and all that because I would like for all of us to try to show up to that truck show if we're able to.
That would be great.
Yeah. I mean, you ain't never been to a truck show before. You can always go watch one of my old videos of me.
And Larry, you're welcome to go with us too because 18
I've
Wheels will be there with us.
some of your videos. I just ain't got through them all yet, like.
I mean, I'll probably go. I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah, it's a long way away, but yeah, it's one of those things that I want to go to, and I also want to go to the Texas one next year because it's like a pretty big one.
Well, there's free truck parking at the Louisville one, just to let you know, and that's where everybody goes and they hang out and shit.
And also, it's a great way to network.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm going to have some business cards made up, some T-shirts and hats and all kinds of crap. So,
yeah, just in case you never know what kind of sponsorships you might get for your YouTube channel. You know, if you're big enough, and stuff like that.
We're going to try and get something if it makes sense. That's for sure.
I get these dumbass emails, man. I got one the other day. I was like, finally, something that I'll use. I accepted it. So we're waiting on that. But I get emails talking about kid toys and hand massagers and makeup. Like, what the fuck? Do you even look at my channel? Come on now.
Well, at least they're sending you stuff. Nobody ever sends me.
Like,
Larry's got Maybelline on.
yeah, exactly. You like my foundation? I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't even reply to those.
You got Vidal Sassoon hair shampoo,
Vidal Sassoon. Oh, yeah.
You got your Vidal Sassoon going on, don't you?
Look at these dumbass. I'm sure I'm not the only one who gets these dumbass sponsorship.
Yeah, I bet you. You know your little overalls that you wear? Hey, you know your little overalls that you wear? You got Guess overalls, don't you, bud?
No, mine is Liberty bibs, baby. I'm a Liberty. Well, and I got one pair of Dickies.
Yeah.
Liberty bibs.
You remember Guess jeans, don't you?
I remember Guess. I remember Guess.
Wrangler might give him a call up, give him a special deal.
That was
of
a
some
thing in the
overalls,
'90s,
man.
buddy. Guess, buddy.
Yeah. Junior high school. Guess was it? Guess
Either that
Levi's.
or Z Cavarici. You remember them too?
Yeah.
No,
man, you guys are dating yourselves, man. Because I don't know what the hell you guys
too damn famous for me.
Z Cavarici. Well, yeah, they didn't have that shit in West Virginia, did they?
No, we had Guess and Bum equipment.
Uh-huh. I remember Bum equipment. You had a little FUBU going on too, didn't you?
FUBU, yeah.
FUBU,
FUBU's trying to make a damn comeback. Apparently,
hey,
I've been seeing more of that shit lately.
Do you know who started FUBU?
That dude from
Shark Tank. Damon Johns from Shark Tank, the black guy from Shark Tank. Yeah, that was him.
Do you know what FUBU stands for?
For us, by us. Yes, I'm not dumb. Come on, man.
I didn't say you were dumb. I was just saying, do you know what it meant? That's all I was just saying.
I didn't know. So I'm dumb.
James, you calling country dumb?
I've only got so many file cabinets.
Text me when I do a live show, man.
Yeah, who's the dumb one now? For us, by us.
What are you looking at me for? What I got to do with me?
Because he just said you're the only one to text him while he's live. That's why.
His wife texts him while he's live. So what?
Are you sure you're his wife? Are you his wife?
I might be. I don't know.
Come on.
No.
Hey, to each his own, bro. To each his own.
Speaking of the wife, she must have fell asleep, man. I just texted her and she ain't said shit since the first 10 minutes.
It's about 10:30, you know.
It's almost time to pass out for me, actually.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I haven't seen anybody make any comments. We're down to 10 people. Believe it or not, there's still 10 people in here.
That's one more than 9, so that's pretty good.
It's all right. We're good. I appreciate you having me
tonight. That's because you had me and Country on tonight. That's what the people were hanging out.
Yeah.
That's probably why it's so low, because my ugly ass is in here.
YouTube stuff that's always interested me. I've never made a channel or tried to do a channel, but it's always been something interesting.
It's a lot of hard work.
It's just
a lot of hard work, dude.
Dude, I still have I've been meaning
if you don't have a YouTube channel now, don't start video. It's hard.
I've been meaning to post a video. It's still sitting right here in my editing screen right now, just sitting there for like.
It takes him 6 months to post a video.
The only reason I even do YouTube is
there's a little quality to it, so you know.
I enjoy being somewhat creative, and I like the editing process. That's
right.
The only reason I even do YouTube, and I was only doing 1, maybe 2 videos a week for like the first year and a half. But back in May, I did a 30-day challenge, a vlog a day in May. I've been daily ever since.
Yeah, I told myself I was going to do that. Well,
except today, I didn't record any because I don't do a video when I'm on a reset. It wasn't intended to be a reset. That's just what happens. I'm not moving. I'm sitting in the truck. I'm not recording that. So tomorrow there won't be a video going live for today, but I'll record in the morning when I start my new week. But every day, vlog a day with me. What state is the best driving? There's
well, not one state in particular, but.
Listen, Midwest used to be the answer for Snyder. That was Snyder's honey hole. I know you can vouch for that,
everybody's honey hole, man. It didn't matter what company it was at.
But now for the past 2 months, the Midwest is even dry. Not no pun intended, but the Midwest ain't shit either.
You know, there is no really state that you can just say is the best. I mean,
yeah, there's no definitive answer.
It just depends on the day, the time. The time of the year.
What I have noticed is over here at Landstar, the Chicago area, Wisconsin, Indiana, those areas there's usually, before you even put in all the information, there's thousands of loads heading back south. It all depends on how much you're willing to pull them for too, but they're there, you know.
That's where I'm heading to. I'm heading to Iowa and then From Iowa, I'm going to Wisconsin and then back down to Charlotte. So that's my weekend.
And I've always had luck with finding loads out of that area coming back down south, at a decent rate as well too. So I would, for me, it would still be the Midwest because it's still better than everything else. Even better than Texas, and that's a shed in the tear right there because Texas used to be my honey hole back in the day when I used to be at Landstar a couple of years ago. So
yeah, Texas is always good for me, but problem is with Texas, it's not going down to Texas; it's coming out of Texas now. Is what's the problem?
Yeah, it can be
it's
rough.
turning into Florida. Now with reefer freight at Prime, it was always good to go to Texas, especially down to Laredo, because you're getting all that produce coming across the border, taking it up north.
Yeah.
But that nighttime driving, man. Reefer and nighttime driving, man. It's
Well, guys, why don't we cut it short, man? We're all getting sleepy, and we're at 2.5 hours, more than 2.5 hours.
Yeah, well, James, I appreciate you having me on there, buddy.
Yeah,
hey, I appreciate
it, James.
you guys
it was
coming
fun.
in, all of you guys. 18 and Austin Country, all you guys, man. It was great having you guys, and nice. We got a big mother trucker came in tonight, which was kind of a big thing. I don't think there's too many people that can say that he came on their channel. You know,
you're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, you had that done, huh? You got that done for me?
Well, I'm just saying, my first time on the show, his first time here. I mean, I had no credit at all.
2 + 2 is 4, and 9 + 10 is 21.
What it is you're live later than you usually ever are. So maybe he's just now on his normal routine
and a different day
at this time of night and a different day.
He's in Texas now too. He moved out of Florida, so he's in Houston now.
Yeah, he's moving down, and that's where I plan on.
I think everybody is going to be moving to Texas pretty soon, man.
Well, I mean, that's where I plan on calling home is Houston here in Houston area, Porter, Conroe, somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So
anyway, all right, guys.
I'm gonna bounce out.
Later,
Thanks for having me. Y'all have a good night.
All right, man. You guys have a good
As soon as I get that from Brian, I'll let you know, bud. All right,
have a good night.
You guys, talk it easy, man.
Bye.
Bye.